you sound awesome.
Aw, yeah.
Aw, now kiss.
I'm gonna dart my tongue in and out like a lizard.
Oh
Ew,
God.
stop.
Come here, you.
All right, welcome to the third session of A Crowd of Brambles, everybody.
It stays in.
Yay!
So I'll go ahead and go by some of the more mechanical, rote and routine stuff that happened last session. You guys, I mean, really? You guys were in town for a bit. You took a job at the bounty board. You effectively put your name in the hat for you will be going on the you'll be going with the caravan later on, and set out to go and deal with the trolls on the eastern coast near Henst. That's for like the nitty-gritty mechanical stuff. That's what happened. Would anyone else like to supply some of the more specific details of what occurred during the last session? And any details that your characters might have been aware of, or any specifics that maybe were important to you, or that you feel like are important to mention to the party. We ended the last session with you guys seeing the conversation happen between two trolls, one of the trolls walking away, and you guys were out of eyeline and out of earshot. So you are not discovered. If you move any closer, you will be.
Gotcha. That's where my brain was like, did we roll high enough for our stealth check or not for this?
Yeah.
I did not remember.
So actually, I'm gonna go ahead and put out there that like you technically rolled high enough to not like instantly be seen, but there is a matter of like there's a distance that you can be at without having to roll a stealth check, and once you breach that distance, you must roll a stealth check or you will be spotted. I will say for our purposes, I know I had you guys roll a stealth check last session. You are at that distance where it's like you can go around the town, or you can go around this camp with no problem, but if you move any closer to the camp, I will ask for stealth checks.
Gotcha. Okay.
Gotcha.
Yeah, any details that anyone else wants to add about the last session?
Moggs got overly excited and did 2 night shifts and has a exhaustion.
Okay. All right.
That's true. That did happen.
I forgot about that.
Yeah, and then I think the last thing I remember was Moggs telling me if there was ever a time to like touch the necklace, it would be kind of now.
That's right, the necklaces. But you also, Caius was running laps around the town with like one of the guards that was really genuinely on board to like
yes,
themselves.
That guy is waiting on me to get back, and I'm excited for it. God, I need to ask him his name.
That's true. I need to figure his name out.
It's funnier if we go the whole campaign without knowing.
It would be really funny. Like, you try to get an opportunity to ask his name, and like a cart goes in front of you guys just before, like he's like, "Oh, sorry, I gotta go," and he just runs away like every time.
I'd like that.
I would love it and hate that at the same time, but okay.
Cool. So I'll go ahead and re-up you guys on the specifics of what the bounty said, and then I will like describe the area that you guys are in and ask what you do. A reward of 120 gold pieces will be given to the party who either slays or evicts the recent troll menace residing to the southeast upon the shore 1 day's travel from Henst. As trolls are both weak to and afraid of flames, I'll provide aspiring parties with a pot of lamp oil, provided they accept the task, and it is by Bohum Groheim, owner of the Whistle and Wagon. So, as we sort of like come into this session, you guys have snuck up behind maybe a boulder or some trees or something of that nature. This immediate area looks like it is wooded, but there is again a cliff, sort of like not a cliff, like a sheer cliff, but like there's some hills and mountains that are immediately to your left. Not huge, definitely scalable easily scalable within a day, but they are to your left, and then this. So like more appropriately, the way the compass is positioned is probably not the most appropriate. I would say it would probably be closer to being like, let me set this as north. Now, if you look at the compass, this is maybe a more like apt presentation of where you guys are coming from. You're coming from like, no, maybe not. Where would you be coming from? You'd be coming from like the west. So like That would be close enough. Yeah, so you guys are coming from the west to the east, to like east southeast. So you'd be coming from like up. Let me like get out my.
Okay, I see.
Here. You'd be coming from this way.
Okay.
Going here.
Okay,
So,
gotcha.
you guys are probably like out here somewhere, and you just barely managed to spot that conversation. None of you know anything of what was said because it was spoken in a language none of you speak, and as a consequence of that, that might complicate things. You don't even know if you could communicate with these trolls if you wanted to. But I am going to ask for the first roll that we do before I ask what anyone else does. Everyone make an insight check for me. Moggs at disadvantage.
Woohoo!
And remember your totals. Don't say it immediately. Just remember what they are, and I'll go and ask one by one. Alrighty.
Nice.
Moggs,
Damn.
what is your total for insight?
8.
8? Lumia, what'd you get?
My total is 21.
20. Jesus. Cyber, what'd you get?
I got a 13.
13. Okay. And Haru, what'd you get?
I got a 10.
10. Okay. Lumia, you're really the only one who picks up on this. You don't spend a great deal of time. Like there's not a long stretch of time that you're watching them, but you at least watch them through that conversation, and you watch what you assume to be the chieftain of these trolls stand up and take up that weapon and sort of sling it over his back. And you see the manner in which he is regarding the camp and stuff of that nature. And there are two things. On a 21, which is far and away more than you needed, there's two things that you pick up on simply by watching him. You're maybe not the world's most insightful person, but you've been around people for a long time, and you can tell when they're upset. This guy has an expression that you can only describe as depressed. He looks sad, weary, worn down, tired, and just generally worn out. And he's a troll. It's hard to read a troll's expression because trolls, realistically, they're more monstrous than they are humanoid. But looking at his expression, you can definitely tell he's beat up about something. He does not feel good about whatever circumstance is going on. The second thing that you notice is they have a camp with no other races in it. Typically, trolls are found in crews that are headed by more intelligent races. So things like Dragonborn, Orcs, Humans, Elves, Dwarves, so on and so forth, will all, especially mercenary groups, will employ a troll or two as being kind of like, this is our big gun, where it's like, oh, you're not going to do the thing that we wanted you to do, that we're like press ganging you to do. Let's get our big gun in here, and he will literally break the door down and be like a huge problem. There's only trolls here, which is very atypical. So those are the two things that you pick up on. Now, as we kind of center down upon the crew, you're hiding behind that rock. It's maybe there's a little bit of snowfall, and I would say it's very early in the morning, as you guys did like camp just out of sight of this area. What do you do? And this is a question to any of you. Yeah, this doesn't have to be like one of you says something. It can be you can just talk about what you want to do.
So we can all see them, right?
Yeah, you can all see this one troll. He's kind of meandering right now, not like literally pointlessly, but he just had that conversation, and he kind of looks like he's deep in thought.
Gotcha.
I love that it shakes the ground when you set him down.
Well, yeah, wait until I move a gargantuan creature.
And what happened to the one that he was talking to?
He went back into one of these tents.
Oh, okay.
He went back into this tent over here, the one that's in the far back right, southeast.
Like, I would normally say this might be a good opportunity to maybe sneak around and do some reconnaissance, but we can't understand what they're saying. We can only read facial expression, so I don't know how much good that would actually do us.
We could at least gauge.
You could make yeah. Sorry, go on, Hart.
I was gonna say we could at least gauge what they're doing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's definitely true. You can also survey the immediate area around them for like battlefield surveillance kind of deal, where it's like maybe there's a better angle if you did want to engage in combat, or maybe there's just a more advantageous place for you to be in general. You could definitely take a look around, because you know that there's the cliffside that is to your left, but you're not really sure what the deal is with that because that's the coast to the north of you right now. That's the coast. So the fact that there's a cliffside there, kind of, it's not like strange. Literally, that's where Moggs' like home was. So it's like on a cliffside that's near the coast. So it's not impossible for there to be something in the immediate surrounding area that you could use as maybe leverage. Maybe there's like a place that they have for storage that you could. And I do mean this as just like trying to be impartial. You could potentially find places that they're using for storage or maybe hiding their young or something like that you could use as a bargaining chip where it's like, hey, we know where your kids are. I'm not saying that you guys want to be evil, but
Wow.
just putting
That
out
is
there
wild.
ideas.
But like if you, I do think if you did something like disrupting their food supplies or something like that,
they'd have to
that
move.
could get them to leave.
Yeah, for sure. So yeah, you guys can investigate the immediate surrounding area if you want. That would probably be survival or perception, depends on what you guys would want to do. I'd say survival would definitely be an easier check than perception would. Perception is just like, I'm looking around, but survival is very specifically, I'm looking at the surroundings, the natural area around me to try and gauge where people have been to and so on and so forth. Like, it's a more specific thing. So if you wanted to, you're more than welcome to.
Well, Moggs is feeling a little bit disappointed right now. Is kind of looking to Lumia for what to go with, because she had suggested going with the bounty with the biggest monster, thinking that they might be able to get more monster cores, and nothing is looking like it's freaking out like the previous monsters did.
Yeah, these are all. There's also an important distinction that I'm going to make for the players that I definitely believe Moggs would not know. Just in case this was a clarification that was needed, there is a difference between monsters that reside on the mainlands, such as Karanak and Tabata, and the monsters that reside in Erendipidus. The monsters that reside here are very specifically called monsters. The creatures that exist in the creatures that exist in Karanak and Tabata are called things like oozes and abominations and like dragons, fiends, so on and so forth. They all have different distinct names, like wyverns and all that other kind of stuff. Everything on Erendipidus has kind of been colloquialized and generalized as monster. So there's almost this like dual meaning where the troll is technically a monster, but it's from Karanak, so it is wildly different from.
What kind of Pepsi you want?
What?
It's like that.
What does it mean?
They just call them all monsters. What kind of monster you want?
Oh my god. Okay, I follow now.
That was a couple layers of a joke that took me a second.
God damn you.
Bad.
I know that Moggs probably would not either care or know, but I figured that I would put that distinction out there just for the sake of the crew, that these trolls, while monstrous in nature, are not erendipidid monsters.
Gotcha. So I guess from gauging about what we've heard from them, they are able to communicate and everything. That much we've gathered.
They have. I mean, they have a language you don't understand. You don't know if any of them
True.
comment on.
Well, from Kai's point of view, the quest was to get rid of these guys. And right now, the only thing he's focused on, the one that he can see, is he's just basically sizing him up in his head just to see how fast he would be able to take him down.
If you guys want to literally size this guy up, I would say it would be an insight check.
Can I take a hit from that?
That's what I'm gonna do.
Can you take a what?
Can I take a hit from that club?
I as full on believes he can, but I'm taking this. I'm doing
No
this
way.
insight check.
I'm asking you. I'm asking you,
want
Bell.
me, Bell, to give you an honest answer to that question.
Yeah, that thing is gonna make me into two pieces.
Damn it.
That thing's gonna make you into 100 pieces, dude.
Yeah.
That thing is going to turn you to dust. Let me actually pull up the stat for it.
From this distance,
weren't
Tides
around when
doesn't
we were-
really know.
When we were talking earlier, a single troll is even dumbed down to the level that they are right now, like twice our power level as a party.
Yeah, so I
Yeah.
had this conversation when it was just Fen and Jinxie, but I'm gonna go ahead and have it now that you guys are here as well. Oh, sorry, God decided I shouldn't speak.
Oh,
Oh no.
Are you guys? Do you guys know anything about what challenge rating is in 5th edition?
Vaguely.
Okay, challenge rating is the metric by which us DMs use
I don't.
to like gauge how strong an encounter will be. Generally, it is a 1-to-1 of the level of a 4-person party. So right now, you guys are all level 2. So 4 level 2 adventurers equals 1 challenge rating 2 monster. So you guys right now, that would be an even fight. It would neither be difficult nor easy. It would be, generally speaking, an even fight. And that does mean that I can like add up the challenge rating. So I could give you guys 4 challenge rating 1/2 monsters or 2 challenge rating 1 monsters, and it would be generally an equal fight.
Okay.
So keep that in mind. You guys are 4 level 2 characters, which means up to challenge rating 2 will be equal. A troll is a challenge rating 5 monster, and there are more than one trolls. There's more than one troll in this camp. I have dumbed the trolls down, and even with the dumbed down version, the likelihood of surviving a combat with a troll. What is everybody's max hit points?
21.
21. Okay.
17.
17. All
Or
right.
15.
15. Okay.
I'm at 9.
Why are you at 9? You should
I
have
don't
known
know.
that.
Did you
Oh,
ever?
what's your?
Did I forget to change it? when we
You
I
were
probably
talking about-
forgot to
I
change.
think it may have been that. Yeah.
I think
Oh
I
my
pulled up the
God.
wrong sheet.
So you've got a Constitution modifier of +1. Did you roll or did you take the average?
Rolled.
Yes.
I think you only got like 1 below average, so it was like a 4, or was it a 3? I don't remember. We have a
I'm
mod.
like pretty sure it was. I didn't get 4. I know that much. It was 2 or 3.
Okay. Well,
I
I'll
was
err on the
3
side
then.
of of being better for you and say that it was 3 instead of 2. So add 4 to your
I have
maximum hit
13.
points.
I found the correct sheet.
Okay. The average, and I do mean average, damage that the troll can do in 1 turn is enough to instantly knock unconscious Lumia and Harvey. That is the modified version of the troll, by the way. The dumbed down, easier version of a troll has the ability to, on average, if it hits with both of its attacks, which it does have 2, it will knock you unconscious. So keep that in mind.
This is player knowledge, not like this is our knowledge. Our characters
I'm gonna
don't know.
I'm gonna
our characters
say-
know this.
I'm gonna say, like, I don't care you rolled a 3, Bear. I'm gonna say Caius has an understanding. Like, you've seen trolls fight before.
Yes, of course.
This motherfucker will body your friends. You might survive 1 or 2 swings from it. But like, if you look to Harvey, I don't know, like you look at this troll and then you look at Harvey and you kind of just like shake your head and look
His
down.
spaghetti arms.
Harvey,
Yeah.
Bird
you
bones.
see Caius do this. You see Caius like look at you and shake his head and then look back to the troll.
Like he's not saying anything. He's having this conversation in his head. He's like,
Yes.
I would like to give him a no shit kind of look.
Yeah, like a.
Like thank God you're not killing us.
No. If that is the case, Caius is definitely like, I'd be wary about a head-on approach because if we do plan on fighting them, we do got to think this through. Or do we
So-
plan on fighting them?
I'd like to avoid fighting them, except as a last resort. Like if we can't run away.
I tend to
Also, I
agree.
will let you guys know this like area that is here. This is the entire camp. There are only 4 tents.
Okay.
Okay.
So you imagine there's probably at least 4 trolls.
What time is it? Morning.
Yeah, it's early in the day.
Okay.
So
You guys can feel free to ask me questions about what it is that it's possible for you guys to do,
Right.
or like if you're not sure what to do, if maybe that's. I want to head this off now because I know that like D&D is a very expansive game that kind of just goes figure it out, do whatever you want, and the answer to like what can you do is anything is really not a helpful answer. If you want to ask me like, hey Belle, is this possible? How could I do this? I will gladly give you the specifics on what you would need to do.
gotcha. Okay. So, like, in this situation, Caius is definitely like he's always down for a fight, but he's very wary of this situation.
Fair.
So he's like,
Yeah.
as much as I would like to go in and start swinging, I do not think you guys would come out unscathed in this. Unscathed in this fight.
And I think based on Lumia's observation of this troll being on his sad boy hours, like, I think she's naturally a little bit more curious and honestly less inclined toward violence whenever it can be prevented anyway. So I think that I would be more open to maybe doing a little investigation and trying to see what information we can gather.
Okay. Is there any specific thing that you want to do to head that investigation off? And does anyone want to join Lumia on that? Because you guys are more than welcome to split up. I don't suggest it, but you're more than welcome to. If you split up and you are caught out, again, challenge rating is based on 4 players. If you split up, there will be even less of a chance if you're caught.
But if we're moving around as a group, I feel like some of us will get others caught easier.
I feel like if anybody's gonna split off from the group, it should be me.
Probably, yeah. You've got the highest stealth score, almost certainly.
Would it be possible? What would the group? What would you guys think of?
I'd say at this point, you guys have probably pulled away from the immediate area, so you can actually have a conversation. You maybe have gone back to where you originally set up camp, which is no more than like 100, maybe 200 feet away from this area that we're suggesting you're at right now. So
okay,
you guys have pulled away. You can have a full conversation without needing to like whisper or worry.
Gotcha. Because I was really trying to figure out exactly. You said we're coming basically from the west, moving east.
You're coming from the northwest, moving southeast. That is, however, inconsequential, as this is such a small area that there is enough of the woods around the whole thing. You could come from any angle. You just need to find.
Okay, Gotcha. All right.
The angle that I have here is like, this is the entrance. This is the intended entrance point of the town, is this like little pathway here. But you can come in from anywhere.
Got it. All right.
I will say, actually, for the record, that anything that is not these little pathways that are clearly like indented in will be difficult terrain because it is the snow. The trolls don't have it easier than you guys. They're not built for this, so they will also have difficult terrain through it.
Fair enough.
Good to know. Like, would it make sense for us to send... Oh, I hate to split us up, but if Harvey is confident in his stealth and his ability to not get caught, like, would it make sense to maybe have him go? Yeah,
so
just because...
Sorry,
go ahead. I'm so sorry.
How dare you guys interrupt each other?
I know.
I was just going to propose I do, like, just a very quick and wide lap to kind of gauge how many are there, like, what's, like, if the tents are, like, if you can, like, see in the opening, like, what's in there.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, you can absolutely do that. And I will say, moving as a group, it would take longer and be riskier. Moving as just yourself, Harvey, you are very confident that you could probably do that and be back within 15 minutes. It is not a big camp.
Okay. Yeah,
if you wanted to be super thorough and get every nook and cranny of the surrounding area, it might take you 30 minutes to do. But if you just wanted to get like a good wide sort of cursory look to get more information, just kind of like a quick sweep, 15 minutes at max.
I mean, what if you guys looked around the surrounding area
and they looked in you look closer to the camp and they look in the wider area.
Yeah, that way we're all doing something.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Do you guys want to designate a point that you want to meet back up at? Maybe just the camp point that you're at right now?
We could just meet back at camp in like a half an hour at max. Like if we're not back in a half an hour, like something happened.
Okay. I will say if the crew wants to go and do a big sort of like much wider sweep, that would be 30 minutes is like a quick sweep, an hour is probably a detailed sweep.
Gotcha.
I know these are super arbitrary numbers that I'm coming up with off the top of my head, but realistically, there's going to be more ground for the 3 of them to cover. Even though there are 3 of them, that just means that there's 3 sets of eyes looking at things rather than just one set of eyes looking at things. But incidentally, it will make them kind of move a little slower because they need to move as a group.
I mean,
3 sets of eyes looking at the surrounding area, and then you stealthing and kind of like peering around the actual camp itself. Not a bad idea.
I was about to say, I feel like that's a pretty solid plan to move forward with.
This is mechanical, but I figured that I'd mention it. You guys are level 2 now, which means that Harvey has access to Cunning Action, which is one of the strongest features in the entirety of 5th edition. It allows them to either disengage, dash, or hide as a bonus action, which does mean that Harvey has the fastest potential movement speed in the party. Because Harvey can use their full movement speed, then use their bonus action to Cunning Action dash, use their full movement speed again, and then they can use their action to dash and move their full movement speed again. So whatever your movement speed is right now, Haru, yeah, basically. Whatever your current movement speed is, Haru, the maximum you can move in a turn if you spend everything possible to do it is 3 times that.
It would be 90.
Yeah, that is even through difficult terrain, you would be moving 45 feet a turn.
It's pretty great.
Yeah, so you are the person of the crew who could get out of there.
I'm Naruto running in the trees.
Like if you're caught, you're the one who's going to survive because you'll just be like, bye.
Easy, I win.
We had to do that in Baldur's Gate a couple times.
I will say, actually, like, the likelihood of you surviving an encounter is very high if they are out of reach. If they're in your reach and they go before you do, if they win the initiative roll, they might get a set of attacks on you.
You're gonna get bam smashed, buddy.
So with all that in mind, is this the plan that we'll enact?
Yes.
I believe so.
Hell yeah.
I'm totally open to it.
Let's go ahead and cover Harvey's venture first. Then we'll cut back to Caius, Moggs, and Lumia and see how that's going. So, Harvey, you split off from the crew. You sort of wave them off as you see they immediately set out from the camp so that they can see the surrounding area. But you have to move closer in before you can start your sort of reconnaissance. How close do you want to get? Do you want to be just outside of that stealth range, or do you want to get close enough to actually start seeing in the tents and see how many trolls there are and see the equipment that they have in the whole 9 yards?
I'm trying to see. So I'm trying to what would you?
Tell me what you want to do, and I'll tell you what you need to do.
Well, I've never played a Kenku before, so how far away do you think I can spot details?
Irrespective of being a Kenku, about as much.
Yeah, eagle eyes.
Yeah, you can spot things at what I will say the normal distance at which you can see anything. Probably 500 foot average of how far out you can see. How far out you can spot details of things, most of the time that is anywhere from 30 to 60 feet, depending on your role. If you want to try to peer at things that are obscured or hidden in some capacity, most of the time that will be a perception check. I'll say that if you get close enough, there's no need for a perception check to see inside the tents and stuff. This is also, I will say for the record, I know we have the map out. This is all going to be narratively driven. It's better if you just ignore the map and treat it as a battle map. There's 4 tents, so you would have probably, if you want to look in the tents, you have to get close enough to where you could be spotted.
I would. So I'm gonna assume they're in a small-ish clearing of the woods or something.
A little bit. It's actually kind of thick here in terms of how many trees there are. So you have trees you can hide behind.
Yeah, I would like to stay as close to the tree line as possible.
Absolutely. Do you want to if you do get closer, do you want to dash between trees and hide behind a trunk kind of deal?
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Okay, I'll go ahead and say because you're using your surroundings, you are a rogue who has the ability to hide as a bonus action, and you've done this before, make a stealth check with advantage. on, baby. Big money. All right.
So 1 is so 17.
12 plus 5, 17. Not bad. Hell yeah. So you are experienced enough in the sort of like the climate that the snow, while it does impede your movements in terms of like how fast you can actually run, you know how to step through the snow without it crunching beneath your feet. You know how to like put yourself with like trees between you and the sight line of your marks. You know how to do this kind of stuff. And so you get easily close enough to start making out the details of this camp. Are there specific things that you want me to tell you, or do you want me to give you a broad overview and then you can ask for details?
Could I get let's do the broad overview, because I do have a couple things. I'm just gonna I'm gonna make a short list.
Okay. Also, can you go ahead and give me what your passive perception is? Because I know that I did let you keep the observant feat, so that should be giving you an additional +5.
Is that my passive wisdom?
Yeah, where it says passive wisdom. So how it works, it's 10 plus whatever your perception score is, and that's supposed to be your passive wisdom. But you have the observant feature, so it would take whatever that is and add 5 to it.
17.
17? Okay, cool. So anything that has a stealth check of 17 or lower, you spot, which I will let you know right now is a very high roll for your level. So the likelihood of something being able to be hidden from you is very slim.
Okay.
And this is also important for combat. If an enemy is trying to hide from you, having a higher passive perception lets you see them before they hit you.
Right.
And if an enemy is sneaking, they have advantage against you. So being that kind of observant, sort of like shifty individual will be to not only your benefit but the whole party's. So you get close enough to start looking at some of the broader details of this place. Obviously, you see 4 tents, and you can very quickly tell by casting your gaze inside some of the flaps of the tents. There are 4 trolls that live here, including the chieftain. The chieftain is one of the 4 trolls. The other trolls, as you're looking at them, you start to notice that they don't really look like those. Like the chieftain is a big, burly, dangerous troll. The rest of the trolls don't look like they are as sort of like sizable as him. They look perhaps smaller, thinner, not as strong. Maybe they were the runts of their litter, maybe they're kids. You have no idea what is going on with some of the trolls that you see here, but you do recognize very easily they are not as big or strong looking as the chieftain is. The one troll that you saw that they were talking to, now that you're getting a better look at them, you can see they are thinner and weaker looking overall. That's
Okay.
That's one of the details that you learn. Another thing, I'm sorry, go on.
I was just gonna ask how like in what manner are they interacting with each other? Like what's the mood in the room?
Sad. People don't seem happy to be here.
Do they seem fearful of the chief?
No. Actually, they seem to. You actually see while you're sneaking, there's several times where you have to kind of like stand still or drop to the ground or something like that before being like you dive into a fucking snow pile or something like that to avoid being spotted or something. And you actually do see people are coming to the only 3 other trolls that are here. More than once, a couple of them come up to them to ask for something. You don't know what they're asking for, but they come up to him, maybe like holding something broken in their hands, and they sort of like hold it up to him, and you see the chieftain kind of like waves his hand a minute and goes like, okay, fine, puts down his weapon. Seems to like trying to help everybody. Seems to be what the chieftain's doing. He's the glue keeping this camp together.
Okay.
There are not a lot of things that are inside the tents that you can see. But some of the things you do see are what looks like crates of food, barrels of water. They're in each person's tent. It almost looks like the tents are actually designed for storage and they're just using them as beds. You actually see very makeshift beds inside. One of these trolls is literally using a boulder as a pillow. It's not looking great.
Oh, this is sad.
Oh, I was gonna assume you'd be jealous.
What?
They're building up those neck muscles, Kaius. Like, come on.
Yeah.
I mean, look, I don't see it.
Straps are shredded.
I don't see it. I don't know this is happening.
Yeah,
are
I'll
there
tell
any,
you all about it.
those are kind of the broader strokes things that you figure out about the immediate area surrounding the camp. You do see there are no sort of like, there are maybe like, there's maybe one or two lanterns that are in the area, but it generally looks like things that produce flame are not present here. None of the lanterns that they have are currently on. You doubt that there is any oil in any of the lanterns. You kind of gauge these might be either stolen goods that they pilfered from caravans or goods that they took with them before they made camp here. They just kind of grabbed stuff that they could and then brought it here. It does not look like this camp was made with a lot of forethought. It looks like this camp was kind of just cobbled together.
Okay. I mean, so is there anything outside of the tents of note, like an area where other activities are taking place?
Not really. Maybe like the area that the current, like the area that the chieftain is standing in, like this area here. Oh, actually, that's what activating that ruler thing does. Is it? Do you see that?
Oh, that's sweet.
That's fucking dope. Okay, cool. Let me turn that off real quick.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that's so sick. But this sort of area here is like what I would call the closest to a town square. I'll go ahead and put them there. That's the closest you can kind of figure of being a town square, is this sort of central area.
Right. I'm just trying to see about like gauging what other activities are taking place here aside from like just living with stolen food.
If you want to take a little bit of time to watch them,
I would like to do that.
Okay, cool. Then while you're doing that, we'll go ahead and cut to the others, and then I'll cut back to you and let you know what you learn.
Perfect.
So Lumia, Moggs, and Caius. The three of you split off from Harvey, wishing him well before you set out to explore the immediate surrounding area that is not close enough to be spotted by the trolls, unless some of them were out on hunts or what have you. I would like for you guys to, in whatever way you so choose, in whatever flavor you wish to do it, either make me survival checks or perception checks. Survival will be easier and will give you more information, but perception is broader and may sort of like spot wayward details.
Okay.
I'm going with survival because, yeah, why not, right?
What's the total?
It'll be 9, but
9? Okay.
You gonna guidance someone?
No, because oh my god, I don't want to make any noise since we're so close to
so
this encampment.
you're not close enough to the encampment to where casting guidance would be a problem.
Well, shit.
I'll let you retroactively do it if you want to cast it on. If you want to cast it on Bear, you absolutely can.
I also haven't rolled yet.
Yeah, Moggs has disadvantage.
Tell you
so
what,
I'm just
I'll
gonna...
let you wait. I'll let you wait until Moggs rolls to determine who you want to give guidance to.
Oh. Well, it's just bad all around. I guess I'll give it to Caius.
All right, Caius, roll a d4 and add that to your roll.
Gotcha.
Big money, no whammies. 4.
Nice.
Hell yeah. So that brings it from a 9 to a 13.
Yes. Thank you.
Cool.
Oh my god.
Awesome. So you guys are walking around this area, and you actually notice that the trolls took up camp in the most densely forested area around. They pointedly look like they're trying to mask their presence. As you're looking at the tree line, you don't see the tents. You can't see anything in there. They don't keep fires on. There's nothing to denote that there are trolls in the woods. The only reason you know the camp is there is because the merchant Bohum Groheim gave you the location. He knows about this camp, and you don't know how the fuck he knows. That is something that actually weighs on, I would say, specifically Lumia's mind. As you guys are walking, you kind of like look around and you're like, I would not know that the troll camp was here unless I already knew, unless I have been here and looked for them. I would not know. and that strikes you as a little strange. Bohem Groheim is a merchant. He's not a fighter. He would need like guards to go with him in order to go out and about, unless he was doing something illegal. And Caius, on a 13, the DC for this was not particularly high. You do spot a sort of like divot, a dip in the small mountains and hills that are to your immediate left as you're walking to the north. You spot a little dip and divot, which you actually can tell has been climbed before. The only reason that you can tell is you're looking at it, and it's maybe like 30 feet up. And you're thinking to yourself, like, I could climb that. And then you actually see, and you're looking towards the top of it, you actually see the telltale signs of what look like pittons, which are effectively like little nails that you tie ropes to while you're climbing. Holes left by pittons in the cliff face that have been removed. The pittons have been removed and the holes remain. You see those holes leading up this small side of the cliff going over the top. Someone has climbed up this cliff. Someone who is not a troll.
Gotcha. Okay. So I'm like looking at this cliffside, like somebody's definitely
like you guys are Lumia and Moggs. You guys are maybe looking at something else right now. Caius just has their arms crossed, staring at a mountain, staring at a small cliffside.
he's just sitting there with his arm crossed, like. So, question, guys. What are the chances of a troll trying to climb the cliffside back to their own encampment?
I would say not very good. That sounds weird. Why?
Take a look at that cliffside. Does that strike you as odd? As he's pointing to like the disturbed side surface of it.
You see, Lumia, similarly to Caius, there are small holes that are like square holes that are in the cliffside, which are very easily recognizable as the holes left by climbing pittons.
Now isn't that curious?
Moggs is just squinting and blinking and squinting and blinking.
It's too honestly, it's too bright out right now. You're tired. It's bright. Like Moggs. I would say Moggs feels right now like someone who normally works nights having to work a day shift immediately. I think I've already said this before, but like Moggs, especially right now, like it's not even that bad. It's just like hard to focus.
What are we looking at?
But ironic. So you're like 2 feet tall, right, Moggs? You're like 2.5 feet tall, maybe.
Yeah, about.
Okay, the first pitten is higher up, like by double your height. So like you're looking at the cliff face, kind of like eye level, like yes, of course. Whereas Lumia and Caius are looking like down at it. You're like, yeah, I definitely know what they're talking about.
Yeah, that's rock.
And so this Bohem Groheim character, is that his name?
Yeah, Bohem, you got it. No, first try, man. Nice job. Listen, dude, there's a curse as a DM. There's a curse you're gonna figure out where I'm gonna say a name of a character, and everyone here is gonna chuckle. All right, it's just how it works.
I promise you, when you first said it, I was trying not to laugh, but okay.
I'm just gonna introduce a character named like Fart or something. Like I don't know.
But so I guess Kai turns to Lumia and Moggs again. So that quest that was given to us from our what was his name, Bohem, I think.
Yes.
Fee-fi Bohem.
So what did he say that they were doing anything like completely wrong here? Because so far, from what I've gathered, from what we've gathered here right now, they don't seem to be too like they're not bothering anyone.
No, they're out here seemingly in no one's way, looking very sad, if I may say so myself. I'm not sure how he would even be aware that they are out here or what nuisance they could possibly be to him.
Exactly, because even from where I come from, this is still considered rather thick jungles. So how would he even have known they were here?
Exactly. I feel like there's definitely more to this. I don't get the sense that they are particularly threatening. But again, difficult since we cannot communicate directly with them. I'm not sure if it makes sense to ask them to leave the area. But I don't know.
We can't talk to them?
Well, did you understand what they were saying earlier?
I'm going to, in Draconic, ask Caius if he understands what I'm saying.
Caius, do you speak Draconic?
No, I do not. So I'm just staring at Moggs like...
They look at you and speak what is effectively Latin.
What did you just call me?
Casting a spell.
Yeah, it is the same language as spellcasting, and a lot of people do mistake Draconic for casting a spell. So, like, you hear that, and you've heard them say similar words while they've, like, fucked around with things before, where they're, like, trying to do some tinkerer stuff. You've heard them say a couple of things. So maybe Caius, like, puts his dukes up, like, what are you doing?
So you better not be trying to enchant another one of my items, I swear to God.
No, if I was talking to another kobold, that's what I would do. But we're still talking.
That's true, but apparently we know more than one language, right? We're talking in a shared language. Wait, do we even know if they might know what we're saying?
Only one way to find out, I suppose.
Moggs, blear, like eyes puffy, squinting, dark circles under her eyes, looks up at Caius like, that's what I'm trying to say!
It's like a light bulb moment just shot off in Caius. Like, is it, wait, so there is a possibility that we could just go up and talk to them, right?
Yeah, we never said hi.
That's a very good point, Moggs. Do we want to look around some more and then see if we can meet up with Harvey and decide whether or not we should engage?
Is there anything that you guys want to do with this scalable cliff face here? Because you do see the holes for pittance, and I will say, whether you guys have it written in your inventory or not, generally speaking, everyone has at least an Explorers or Dungeoneers pack, which all come with hammer, pittance, and rope. Hammer, pittance, and rope are a standard thing that adventurers have. Even if you don't have it, even if you don't have it written in your inventory, I'm giving them to you. It is standard for adventurer stuff. Yeah, you've got 50 feet of hempen rope, you've got about 10 climbing pittons, and you've got a hammer for those pittons, which is all that you need to climb cliff faces.
Is this an in addition to possibly an athletics check? What else is required
I would
here?
say it would be a very low athletics check. If you were trying to just scale this cliff face without like any help, it would probably be significantly higher. But if you're scaling it with like pittons and rope and being careful, it's probably like DC 5, like maybe 7. To scale this cliff face.
There's no way Caius isn't hammering those things in all the way.
Oh, I mean, Caius is going to use them.
I was going to say, Caius is just going to, like,
he's doing muscle ups.
He's just going to do it on his own.
I promise you, Caius is no stranger to climbing difficult terrain from where he's from. So he would just go for it.
I mean, if you want to, Caius, roll an athletics check to try and scale it without using rope and pittons and stuff.
Hell yeah.
I will, you know what, just to make sure that like everything is on the table, depending on how badly you fail, you will take damage.
I love how you said how badly you like just know I'm about to fail.
I'm not, that's what I mean.
You heard it here first, folks.
All right.
You know what? I
curse
you.
You know what? I'm going to shift. I'm going to shift just to make sure I can do something.
So let me know what shifting mechanically does for you, because I might modify the DC.
Gotcha. So shifting it gives me temporary hit points equal to 2 times my proficiency bonus.
Okay.
And it basically increases my move speed by 10 feet.
Okay. That would let you climb faster, actually. So climbing speed and swimming speeds and burrowing speeds and stuff like that, burrowing is an exception, but climbing and swimming, if you don't have a listed climbing or swimming speed, it is always going to be half of your normal movement speed. So by doing this, you actually do increase your climbing speed by 5 feet, which means you'd be able to get over higher. So yeah, I'll reduce the DC a little bit for you.
Okay. That's cool. I also have proficiency in...
Lumia, do you want to guidance them before they do this?
Sure, why not? I cast
You might
guidance.
as well. I mean, guidance is truly, and I mean this with all of my heart and soul, truly an overpowered cantrip.
Oh,
I thought Louis was
we
gonna be
know.
like, here's my guidance. Don't do that.
All right, here we go.
Let it rip, and then make sure to add a D4 to. Oh my god, you're probably fine.
Oh man, yeah, because that's already 21.
21. Yeah, add the D4 just to see how well you do. If you get like 25, something special will happen. 24. I mean, fuck it, I'll give it to you anyways. You guys watch as Caius kind of like rubs their hands together, cracks their knuckles, maybe like does a couple stretches, and then straight up just leaps high enough to where their hands crest over the top of this 30-foot cliff face and grab onto the top of it.
Insane.
Truly a feat of superhuman strength.
It doesn't even have wings.
So I'm just hanging off the side of the cliff face now.
There's no need for a check. You can just like go over the top if you want.
Gotcha. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and crest that.
Vault over.
Yeah, go ahead and do that.
While Caius is doing that, Lumi and Moggs, are you guys gonna do anything? Do you want to start like handling and pittance and stuff?
I'm staring at Caius slack-jawed, because that's the most outrageously strong thing that I have ever seen. I'm just looking over at Moggs, kind of like, did you just see that?
Moggs sees him leap into the air, which makes her look up, and she goes, "Oh, there's holes!"
Oh my god. Now that I'm thinking about it, Caius probably could have like football tossed Moggs over the top.
Missed opportunity, because this climb is probably going to be difficult for Moggs.
How about this? Now that I'm at the top, I can just like
rope down?
Yeah, I was gonna like
yeah.
just hold on to my end of the rope and toss the other end down.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and say that is very much so, very easily, like, there's no need for a check for either of you. You've got Caius helping you. Like, at worst for Moggs, you could wrap the rope around your waist, tie it, and then just be pulled up. So yeah, if you want to crest over the edge with Caius, you absolutely can.
Yeah, like I was gonna be like, once you guys grab hold of it, I'm just gonna start pulling you up.
You don't pull, you just like yank really hard, and like a flail, they like whip up into the sky, like they just. No, you pull them over.
I was about to say, now they gotta make an acrobatics check or something.
They're fine. You pull them over, and you actually see that this isn't like just a cliff. It's not like a V or an upside down V or anything like that. It is a plateau up here. It looks like there is like a place to walk around. It's a little clearing in this mountainside. It looks like there's some rubble and rocks and stuff of that nature. And you can very, very easily see in the side of the mountain is a small hole. It looks like a cavern. All three of you see it as you come up here.
So is this high up enough that we're like over the tops of the trees now?
Not quite. This is only 30 feet up. I would say a lot of the trees here are higher than 30 feet. Some of them are lower. I have it represented poorly on the map. The trees are much bigger than they're represented on the map. They're closer, not like redwood style, but definitely like heavy oak trees and willows, or not willows, but like tall evergreens kind of deal.
Oh, okay. That's good.
Okay, but it's not. It hasn't significantly changed the amount of light we're seeing.
Not quite. No.
Okay.
You could maybe see over the tops of some of the trees, I would say.
Is the cave? I'm just wondering, like, if we can see the opening to the cave. Like, I imagine we're at some distance. Can we see any details, even just inside of the cave, or anything around the cave that might indicate what it's for? Because I'm just wondering, like, is this a place where people are mining? Is this a place where an animal might live?
I will let you take your pick of whatever check you want to make. Tell me if there is anything specific that you're trying to find, or if you just want a general lay of the land. That'll be your perception. If you're trying to find something specific, like if you want to see tracks or to try and gauge what this, like seeing tracks probably would be survival. If you want to gauge whether or not this is like what this was used for, probably would be a history check. If you want to get closer, if you want to get close enough to it, I would say that would be an investigation check. But at this distance with no like direction, it'd be perception.
I actually would like to know what the cave was used for, so I'm going to do a history check.
Cool.
I
And
have
Caius and
plus
Moggs, you
3
guys
to
are
that.
also more than welcome to do whatever types of investigations on this you want.
Do the survival for tracks.
Okay, hell yeah. Also, remember, I'm just going to go ahead and tell you guys this now. I will keep you guys honest on it in the future, but for now, everyone add guidance to your rolls.
Oh, shit.
No, it's okay. It is. I mean this genuinely. I'm not trying to get you with a gotcha moment. It's just for the sake of transparency and stuff of that nature. I need to make sure that I, as a DM, keep you guys honest because I am also going to keep myself honest. If I forget something that a monster does, I own it. So, make sure to add up your totals and then let me know what check you did and what your total was. So let's start with Lumia. What check did you do and what was your total?
I did history, and my total comes to 12.
12? Okay, so we're going to do it one at a time. On a 12, you gauge this is a naturally occurring cliff face with no original intent, a naturally occurring cavern with no original intended purpose. This looks like this is just formed out of the mountainside. It doesn't look like it was a mine. It doesn't look like it doesn't even look like a den for monsters or anything. It actually looks pointedly, like fully naturally occurring, no like indication of its purpose. Moggs, what did you roll for and what did you get?
I dropped down onto all fours and kind of like sniffed around and looked and investigated. Did a survival and got a 15.
15, beautiful. It is hard to tell because of the heavy snowfall whether or not there have been tracks or like, you know, monster tracks or people or what have you. But there is a small sort of like lip of the cavern entrance where you actually see there was some heavy snowfall maybe like a week or two ago at this stage. There was a lot of heavy snowfall that came through, and there is what remains of a single boot print at the entrance to the cavern. It is a human-sized boot. It is like, well, I say human. It is a humanoid boot. It does not look like something that came from a troll. It doesn't look like something that came from monsters. It looks like it came from a medium-sized humanoid creature. And that's what you learn on a 15. Is that's sort of like you can tell someone has been here before. On top of the pittance that were behind you. And
Plus, someone was in that cavern.
Caius, what did you roll for and what'd you get?
I rolled perception just to like get a like general understanding of everything around.
Cool.
And I got a 15 total.
15? Beautiful. There's shit in that cave. There's something in there. Not literally shit. There's stuff in that cave.
I was about to say, okay.
Not shit. There is not poop in the cave. There are objects further in the cave that you can barely tell are there, but you can tell that there's something in the cavern. It's much deeper in, and you can just barely sort of see, like, there's a bit of wood that is kind of, like, visible by the light shining through the clouds.
Okay.
Moggs just start meandering in that direction, I think.
Yeah, you guys want to walk into the cave?
Oh, I
Yeah,
don't want to go to the cave until we link up with Harvey because I don't want Harvey to go back to the meetup point and be wondering where we are or be exposed and kind of at risk by himself.
I will say this cave is not like super deep. Caius would probably have been able to tell that by their perception check. Is the place that you can see that stuff is in the cave is the end of the cave.
Yeah, it doesn't look like the cave goes too deeply. There's definitely some objects in there that I can make out from here, but
yeah, just to keep everybody informed on like what specifically it is that you discovered. This is basically like this is a room, effectively.
Yeah, unless you're telling Boggs to stop there, they are confident that no one has been there recently, so they're just wandering in.
But even still, I wouldn't, like, we have no idea what's going on Harvey's end.
I want Moggs to make a dexterity saving throw. I'm joking. You're fine.
Jesus Christ.
What's your hit points, Moggs?
17.
And I start asking all these fucking questions.
So, if anything, I wouldn't, I know Caius probably wouldn't want to go in immediately, just because, like, as far as, like, survival tactics go,
It's an unknown. It's a little dangerous.
Exactly. And
So-
again, Harvey's by themselves.
While Caius and Lumia, while you two are kind of like, maybe we shouldn't, maybe we should. Moggs, you're already halfway through the cave, and you see at the end of the cave there are a bunch of crates, a bunch of wooden crates that are at the very end of the cave.
And I got boxes in here.
Oh my God.
Yeah, like you guys are deliberating, like maybe we shouldn't. Like you look to each other, like maybe we should be a little cautious about this. We don't know what could be in there, and then you hear Moggs from in the cave, like echoing out, like there's boxes in here.
Lumia, go get her, please.
I begrudgingly trek down toward Moggs, ready to give her a stern warning about going off by herself when we don't know what's in the cave.
Moggs, while they're walking into the cavern towards you, do you close the distance to the boxes? Do you want to like look inside and see what's up?
No one has called out to me, so yep. Just Moggs keeps going.
So Lumia, you walk into the cave, kind of like stern mother, like I'm ready to scold my kid kind of deal. And by the time you get there, Moggs, if you want to have cracked open one of the crates, you absolutely can.
Yeah, and like Kai's is still hanging back, just like
At the entrance to the
keeping. Yeah.
Gotcha. Cool. Yeah, if you want to have cracked open one of the crates, Moggs, you absolutely can.
Yep.
Okay. You are like maybe you just opened up one of the crates. You maybe had to like heft it to where the wood kind of clattered. It echoes through the cave back towards you, Lumia, which maybe startles you a little bit because you didn't expect to hear just like sort of like the sound of a full several 2x4s landing on the ground. But then by the time you actually
And a little giggle from Moggs.
Yeah, by the time you actually reach Moggs, they have had a moment in time where you can see over the lip of the crate. You've maybe had to like heft yourself up or something. You guys see a ton, and I do mean a ton, of little glass bottles. They are very small, maybe about like 3 inches tall and about like 1.5 inches wide on either side. They're square rectangular bottles with a they come to like a circular sort of like place for a cork to go in, and then they're corked. They're all corked, and it looks like they're wax sealed. The liquid that is inside is this kind of like brackish, sort of yellow brownish. It looks almost like a whiskey, almost. And there are maybe in the crate that you are looking at right now, just this first layer, there are like what looks like little maybe like wooden inserts that allow it to stack up further. On just this layer of the crate, you can see easily 50 of these bottles. And you assume just by gauging the height of these bottles, there's probably about 6 or 7 layers of them. And that's just in one crate. And you're looking around and there's about 5 of these crates. So gauging around about whatever these little vials are, there's several hundred of them that are like maybe even 1,000 or more that are in this cave.
Sorry,
Lumia, you see it too.
Were they full or were they just empty?
Oh, they're
vials?
full. They're full of this brackish, sort of like whiskey-looking liquid.
Okay, gotcha.
Oh, Moggs, what have you found?
Bottles.
I wonder what's in them. Maybe
Anyone
we should
who-
crack one
Anyone
open?
can make a if you decide to crack a bottle open, you can make a medicine check to determine what the substance is, but you have to take a taste.
Oh boy. Well, I mean, I
make
can
a
heal
medicine-
myself, so.
So you can make a medicine check at a much higher DC if you decide to just smell it. If you decide that the only thing you want to do is just kind of like pop it open and go like sniff sniff, I will let you make the same check at like a much higher DC. But if you taste it, it's a normal check.
I didn't mean for there to be 3.
I was about to say,
20
you
there.
rolled so many dice.
I'm gonna.
Natural 1!
Sweet.
Holy do you take a sip, Moggs?
Yeah, that was for immediately
Lumia-
investigating.
Lumia, as fast as a toddler like grabs food and shoves it in their mouth, as fast as a toddler sticks a knife into an electrical socket, Moggs has taken a drink of one of these. How much do you drink, Moggs?
Just a little bit.
Just a little bit. Okay, you go.
Just because Lumia was ruminating, I wonder what these are, and so Moggs was like, I don't know, let's find out.
Cool.
I snatch that bottle right from Mog's hands.
You give it a snatch. You grab it. Some of the liquid spills out on the ground. Moggs, I'd like you to make a Constitution saving throw.
Oh no.
And then I will tell you if you learn anything.
It's at this point
I
like
don't think your saves are at disadvantage. I think it's just your checks.
Oh, just checks?
And also, I don't think you can add guidance to saves.
Okay. Well,
Guidance is
then
for
just a
skill
regular
checks. Yeah, just
20.
regular, a flat d20.
I'm just littering everything with dice.
Oh,
Oh boy.
there you go.
Constitution saving 22.
22. Oh my god. Okay, so you sort of like take a little sip. It is sweet. It's not like cloyingly sweet. It's pleasantly sweet. It tastes effectively what like we would know as like Coke, like Coca-Cola.
I was about to say we found some sweet tea.
Dude, we found some Milos up in here. This is the last remaining Milo's reserve. So you take a sip of the sweet, sort of like brackish brown liquid. It is thicker than you expected it to be. Like almost to the point where it's like cough syrup kind of thick, which isn't pleasant. The texture is not pleasant. It leaves a little bit of like it leaves a residue in your mouth. It's not great. And as it kind of like goes down your gullet, you can't discern anything about it. It was a natural one on your check to determine what it was. You succeeded on the save for it, but you have no fucking clue. You'd have to take another sip to try. Like, I will tell you, if you take another sip, you get another try.
I don't like it though.
So, Lumia, now that you have the bottle in your hand, you do have a moment to potentially do something. Maybe like take a sniff, make a medicine check, try and figure out what this is.
It's gross. That's what it is.
I can only imagine, Moggs. Please don't drink strange things anymore.
Yeah, Moggs, as far as you're concerned, this is just like a weird person's like beverage. Like this is you know how like water, apple juice, like all the stuff that they were getting in the tavern. As far as you're concerned, this is probably that weird tavern keeper like just having a supply of shitty like drink to serve people.
Maybe they hit it up here because it's gross.
I can see them from the cave entrance still, right?
Yeah, you're kind of like the cave entrance is not quite as tall. Like it's you maybe have to like crouch down a little bit to get in the cave entrance, guy. So I almost imagine that you're kind of like you've got your arms above your head, kind of like grabbing onto the
like
lip of the cave. Just
I'm like leaning
forwards.
on the frame, like the outline of the entrance of the cave.
And it's maybe like 60 feet down, and so your dark vision carries that far. You can see the two of them. You can see them in black and white, but you actually see Moggs takes a sip of something. Lumia snatches it away. What do you do, Lumia?
I'm literally in there like, what are you guys doing? What is it?
We don't
gross.
actually know yet.
It's gross.
I would like to give it a sniff and maybe do a medicine check. Is that possible? I'm going to cast guidance on myself. I remember.
Hell yeah. It's going to be a much higher DC than normal because you're not taking a sip. But yeah, go ahead and make that medicine check.
It's worth the try.
While she does that, Moggs has immediately lost interest and hops down and is just looking around the rest of the cave.
Cool. I mean, honestly,
Nope.
Jesus, a 2 and a 1. It is a perfectly average, normal cave. There is not like maybe there's a little pool of water that has settled here as snow melts because it's naturally slightly warmer inside the cave than it is out. There's no wind chill to keep the snow melted fully. There's icicles that are hanging from the ceiling. It's this is a cave. That's what it is.
I forget if we talked about this before. Does D&D 5th Ed have the take 10, take 20?
I don't believe so.
Okay.
What do you mean by that?
I don't remember
What
which
do you mean by
system.
that?
I don't remember which system it was, but there was one where like if you took longer, you could just like have a default roll or something like that. Like taking 10 gave you a roll of 10 or something like that.
As far as I'm aware, that's not 5th edition.
Okay.
I can go ahead and say that if there is a check or roll that you want to make with like more finesse, potentially reducing the DC, spending more time on it would help.
I guess at this point, Caius is gonna like enter the cave to see what's going on. He's like crouched over, trying to like get to the back of the cave.
It's maybe like 6 inches shorter than you are, so you kind of have to like nestle yourself in a little bit, and then it widens in like as you get further in. It's like 7 or 8 or 9 feet tall, so it's like, okay, I can actually stand up here. You hit your head on a icicle that's hanging from the ceiling, and it cracks, it shatters on the ground. You're like, fuck.
God damn it.
But you see the same thing that the two of them see. You see a crate filled with undefined liquid. Also, Lumia, on
Gotcha.
that check, yeah, you have no clue.
Ugh.
So does it like I guess I want to ask Lumi, like, what is, like, he sees her take a sniff of it, and like, does it smell like anything?
I think it just has a neutral smell. I really genuinely do not know what this is.
Lumia, I'd like you to make a history check.
I was about to say, can I see that bottle?
Ooh, yeah, I'll make a
you
history
can
check.
go ahead. Caius, you can take the bottle while Lumia makes a history check.
I cast guidance
Alright.
on myself.
You got it. Yeah, you do.
Clearly, I'm
Well,
gonna
there it
need
goes.
it. Yeah, bye, dice. Okay, so that's a 10 plus whatever this winds up being.
Let's
Oh,
see.
goodbye. Also to you.
You were
Sorry.
launching them.
13,
Right?
and then I have an additional 3, so it's a 16.
16. On a 16, as Caius takes the bottle from you, what do you do with the bottle, Caius? Do you want to like take a sip of it, or do you want to sniff it and make a medicine check?
Oh no, he wasn't about to sniff it. He sees the color of it, and it reminds him of the
rum
rum he got from the barkeep.
Big swig, big
So
swig.
He's gonna take a big
You're gonna
swig.
take a swig? Go ahead and take a swig. If Lumia wants to give you guidance on this, they can. And then we'll tell you what you learn, Lumia.
No guidance. I'm tired of both of these two.
Valid.
All right, straight medicine. Let's see what it is.
Oh no, I was about to do it. Oh,
Okay. So this is the check to figure out what it is. You get to make it whether or not you're intending to or not. What's your bonus to medicine?
me. I don't have a bonus to medicine.
Okay, so that's a 5. Now make a Constitution save.
Yes.
Come on, baby. Let's see what it is. Oh, what's your bonus?
I got a 11.
Oh, fuck. Okay.
No, yeah, 11. That's 11.
Okay, so Lumia, as you watch Caius down the rest of this brackish liquid, you put the pieces together. You figure it out. Bohum Groheim is not a name that you recognize off of the top of your head, but it is very pointedly not a name that is native to the lands of Erendipidus. You think you've heard of the Groheim family. It's a family of merchants that live in Karanak. You think you've heard of them before. They're not really doing too hot. That maybe were a noble family at one point before and have fallen on hard times and have been having to resort to potentially shady underbelly dealings. And you put the pieces together that Bohum Groheim is the only person who gives a shit about these trolls being here. What skin does he have in this game? Why would he care that there are trolls that are camping out beside this cliff that has a bunch of shit, a bunch of these vials in it? And you figure it out. These are drugs.
Oh.
Bohum Groheim is smuggling in drugs into Erendipidus from his dealer in Karanak so that he can sell them here to make a big profit on a new drug market. And the fact that the trolls are there is inhibiting his ability to come back here safely. He wants you to get the trolls out of there because he's fully confident that if they leave, he's free to continue doing what he wants and smuggle things in. And as you realize they're drugs, Caius downs a bottle.
Shit.
And it's not instantaneous, so we'll cover it in a moment. But
Oh,
Lumia,
you motherfucker.
Lumia, you have this immediate sinking feeling in your stomach where you're like, oh my god. Caius?
Jam a finger down his throat immediately.
He's just.
I
What
definitely
about you?
would
You
be,
drank twice.
I would definitely be looking at Caius and Moggs and probably saying, well, it may be too late now, but I do think I've figured out exactly why he wanted these trolls gone. And I think that we should get back with Harvey as quickly as possible if you two are feeling up to it. I don't know that Lumia would tell them that they're drugs just yet.
Like, he's just looking at the empty flask like, it's kind of sweet. What's wrong?
It's sweet. It's sort of, it's like, it's thick, it's sweet. You look at the bottle, you're holding a banana in your hand.
Oh God, when did the... He's just gonna be like, it's cool. When did I get this?
That's interesting, yeah.
I gotta get these bees out of my teeth.
He's gonna look at Mog and like, when did you give me a banana?
You look at Mogs, and there are easily like 50 different Mogs in the cave with you.
I don't like this.
What do you mean banana?
They all speak in unison. It's deafeningly loud.
Oh God, Kais is kind of stunned. And he's like, he's gonna turn to Lumia and be like,
Lumia looks perfectly normal.
Okay, so Lumia, I didn't know your kobold friend here can multiply like that. Nor do I know when I grabbed this banana.
Lumia at that point just puts one palm on her face and says, "Morning, save me. We have got to get out of this cave." I think
as Lumia is speaking, Caius, Lumia says those words. You can't really hear them. It sounds like they're underwater.
Moggs does a quick 360 looking for other kobolds.
There are like 100 Moggs in this cave frantically looking about. It's kind of freaking you out a little bit.
This is all like me seeing this, right?
Yes, Caius is seeing this. Nobody else is seeing this. I will go ahead and say mechanically, Caius, you have a poisoned condition.
I was about to say, this sounds like...
The poisoned condition, let me actually pull up what poisoned does for 5e.
Oh God.
There's obviously more going on here, and we're just representing it mechanically with the poisoned condition. The poisoned condition says you have disadvantage on your attack rolls and ability checks.
Oh.
You don't know how long that condition will last, but you know that you have it right now. And you look up you see the icicle that was that you hit your head on, and you look back out of the cave and you see yourself walking into the cave, hitting your head on the icicle falling on the ground, and then you step into where you're currently standing and you start seeing that happen over and over and over again. You are tripping fucking balls. You are really
like,
Caius.
I don't. The barkeepers need if the barkeeps ever like sell this stuff, I promise you, he would make a killing. This is some strong stuff, I promise you.
I'd say that there maybe has been like 1 or 2 times in your life, Caius, where maybe there was like a ritualistic summoning or like a rain dance or something of that nature that you did in your like in Feowin, where you maybe did hallucinogenics or something of that nature. But they were like natural, sort of like you smoked them, maybe literally hotbox a tent kind of deal to like have the full effect. Whatever this is concentrated. This was not supposed to be ingested like this. The reason why it's like that is because you're supposed to dilute it in something.
God.
You have probably taken like
you fentanyl yourselves.
If you're looking at the bottle. I'm sorry, you're looking at the... No, never mind, you see banana. Moggs and Lumia look at the bottle, especially Lumia. You're looking at it, and you sort of realize the description that they gave of how it's like... it's not cloyingly sweet, but it's sweet, but it's really thick. It's like a syrup. Kai's probably just took like 4 to 5 doses of this thing.
Okay.
It's actually kind of impressive that Caius is not catatonic on the ground right now, but they're standing, they're walking and talking. Your speech is not slurred in any way, Caius. It is only your perception that is fully altered. You are seeing crazy shit. You're hearing and seeing crazy things. Right now, your sense of smell, taste, and touch have not been affected. But it is your sense of sight and your sense of hearing are fully affected.
Gotcha. Okay.
Belle?
Yeah.
While Caius and Lumia are engaged, Moggs is going to pocket 2 vials.
Okay, cool. Yeah, hell yeah. I'll also go ahead and say that I assume you probably have detect magic up. You at some point during your like marching have probably cast detect magic.
I don't think I can do it while I was moving.
You can't do it while you're moving, but I'd say you probably have had enough deliberation or some shenanigans.
Okay.
If you want to, you can have detect magic
Sure.
on. These vials are not magical. This is an alchemical substance. Whatever this is very pointedly not a magical thing. But yeah, you pocket 2 vials. Go ahead. I just want you to add 2 vials of drugs. Like, you don't know the name of it. You just know they're 2 vials of drugs. Anyone else who wants to take any vials absolutely can. There are like 1,000.
Yeah, I think that if Lumia did not see Moggs take those, she would have taken 1, not for the purpose of using it later, but for the purpose of potentially using it as evidence once we get back into town.
Okay. If you do see Moggs take them, do you trust Moggs well enough to believe that they are using them for evidence?
That's a really great point. I'm just going to take 1 or 2 myself.
Okay. If Lumia wants to actively be trying to like watch Moggs in the case that they try to take another sip, then I would say Moggs, it would be a sleight of hand against Lumia's passive perception.
Good thing I have disadvantage.
God damn.
Yikes.
Didn't roll great anyways.
I give myself guidance, might not need it.
I don't think
Oh, wait, it's passive perception. Never mind, just
Yeah,
kidding.
passive
My bad,
perception. What's your total passive perception, Lumia?
It's 10.
Just 10 flat.
Yeah.
The good news is I only have a +4 in sleight of hand, so with
so
the disadvantage,
9.
I got 9.
Oh my god. Okay. So you don't see them take the 2 vials out of the crate, but you do watch the flap of their rucksack kind of close quickly and their hand come out of the rucksack, and you can put 2 and 2 together.
I'm going to take a mental note that Moggs definitely took some of those bottles. I'm still going to pick up 2 of my own because I have no idea what she's going to do with them or if I can prevent her.
Cool. Since you're grabbing your own, you would have noticed that there are more than 1 missing from the box anyways.
Yeah, for sure. Caius, you're watching them. You don't know why the fuck they're taking so many bananas.
That's what exactly I was like, man, y'all must be hungry. You know, you guys are right. I'm gonna get me some bananas too. And he takes like 3 bottles of bananas.
I encourage Caius not to take any.
Caius, your stomach rumbles. You're kind of hungry. You could do with a banana right now.
Whoa. Nope.
Look, you.
I'm diving all over Caius trying to knock him out of his hand.
Would like Caius to make a wisdom saving throw to determine whether or not he drinks another.
You don't drink a banana, you eat a banana.
Yeah, he's gonna eat it.
Oh no.
Glass and all.
There's gonna be problems. Whatever logistical.
God damn it!
Ooh.
Jesus, we can't be sitting in this cave getting high all day.
You tell you what, Caius, because you are the victim here, I'm gonna give you an additional inspiration point. You can use that to reroll this.
You motherfucker! All right. So this isn't the inspiration I'm using.
This
that
is
I
just
started
the free.
with.
This is the free one.
Okay. God, this is about to be
So you
bad.
have 4 on the last die.
God
and this one is a
damn
6.
it!
What is your bonus to wisdom?
0. It's a flat 6.
Oh my god. Okay, Lumia and Caius, I need the 2 of you to roll initiative to see if Lumia can snap the bottle out of Caius's hand before they crunch into
Did you say roll initiative?
You're not fighting. This is just to see who acts
yet.
first. If Lumia rolls high enough to beat your initiative, they will grab the bottle out of your hand before you get to eat it, basically.
If I saw Caius was going for a bottle, I would try to stop him as well.
Okay, yeah, absolutely.
I got
Roll
a
initiative.
19.
A 19, hell yeah.
Did we say that would be disadvantage or not? I forget.
It is a skill check, so it would be disadvantage.
Okay.
But also, Lumia, you can... Actually, no, you can't guidance initiative, I don't believe. All right, so
I don't stop him.
what is your total initiative roll, Lumia?
It's just a flat 19.
It's just 19?
Yeah.
Cool. What is your total, Moggs?
4.
4. What's your total, Caius?
10.
10? Okay. So, Moggs, you trip on some of the ice that fell on the ground. Lumia, like lightning firing from a cloud, you snatch the bottle out of Caius's hand. You snatch all 3 bottles out of Caius's hand. And like sort of like hold them far enough away to where Caius wouldn't be able to eat them. And Caius, the rumbling in your stomach kind of subsides as you watch them snap the bananas out of your hand.
Look, I'm like, God, if you wanted the bananas, you could have just said that. There's a whole box of them. You can get your own.
You won't have to roll to see if you eat one. You can actually take a couple of these bottles if you want, Caius. You won't have to roll again.
Okay.
Moggs will tap his necklace.
So, do I like see like 100 Mogs coming at me?
Yes. There is a horde. You hear the like Left 4 Dead horde music start to play as like 100 Mogs start to like run towards you and jump up on top of each other to try and touch the necklace.
If that is the case, Caius is immediately like darting backwards.
Yeah, you like fucking wave dash out of the cave.
Wave dashing.
I don't know where you and your siblings came from, but get away from me.
Caius, you can't just be breaking shit that other people own.
How did that sound to me? Are they like...
It sounded like, imagine what Fen just said, overlaid on top of itself 100 times.
Oh,
with like,
God,
with
I'm
like,
like...
with like,
chamber.
with like 0.01 second delay between each of them.
I'm
So
clutching,
realistically, it's kind of just like noise. Like they're just kind of yelling at you.
I am clutching my ears and I'm walking away.
You're like,
I'm
okay, all
walking
right.
away.
Lumia, you're at least aware Caius is absolutely... He's gone. He's tripping right now. Whatever this is, whatever it's doing to him, he's seeing things that you're not seeing. Also, I will say, Caius, the physical appearance of Lumia does not change or alter in the slightest over the course of this duration.
She
Well,
remains
that's
just
fair.
as beautiful as ever.
I've got bad news.
What do you mean?
We didn't pit and rig our way up the cliff. We had Caius lift us.
Yeah, I didn't want to say anything.
And with that realization, we are going to cut back to Harvey. Holy shit.
What the fuck is happening?
This has been the greatest. Session 3, and we're already
Tripping
on
balls.
drugs. We're already tripping balls. Normally it takes a couple more sessions. So, Harvey,
Set me up.
remind me again the specificity of what it was you were doing before we cut to them. You were going to wait a little while and kind of just observe them, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
I wanted to gauge like what they're doing while they're there and
Okay.
like how they're interacting with each other, like if they're getting ready for something, if they're just like chilling and, you know.
Yeah. So you actually do see a couple of these trolls are doing things inside their tents. You get a good enough angle to where you can actually catch one of them and you see what they're doing. It looks like they're making what you can only surmise are spears or javelins or something of that nature. They're sharpening like branches and stuff like that. It looks like they are making some sort of weapon, but they have a pile of them next to them in the tent. There's a bunch of wood chips. They've got this like crude knife that they're using. It's very clearly too small for their hands, so they've got it between their like thumb and forefinger, and they're like shaving off. It's difficult for them to do.
Right.
You see another one of them. It looks like they're having, a conversation with the third one, and they're not having a disagreement or anything like. They're just discussing things. And then that one that is talking steps out of their cave, goes up to the chieftain, and sort of puts a hand on his shoulder, says something in Giant, and then you watch as that guy passes by the tent that had those spears that were being sharpened, takes like 3 or 4 of them, and then marches pretty much straight past you out into the woods towards where you imagine Lumia, Moggs, and Caius are.
Oh no.
It does not look like they are seeking Lumia, Moggs, and Caius. You gauge that they're going out to hunt for food. You gauge they're going out there to like try and find maybe some scavardi or something like that to skewer and spear, using these sharpened sticks as implements by which they will hunt. You don't really believe Lumia, Moggs, and Caius are in immediate danger unless something wacky and zany has happened, which might make them easier to spot. Which totally hasn't.
That didn't happen.
Surely that didn't happen. But there's one other thing that you see which does catch your eye. You watch the troll, the chieftain, step into his tent and sit down on the ground and pull up what looks like maybe the top of a crate or something of that nature, just a flat surface, top of a barrel, He puts it down on the ground beneath him. The ground here is not snow or anything like that. It looks like they've basically put out like cloth tarps or something like that, so that they have like dry ground to work with that's not just dirt. But he sets down this flat surface, takes out a piece of parchment and an ink and quill, and begins to write on the page, which you would need to get closer and potentially risk being spotted in order to see what language he is writing that note in. You will not be able to tell what he's writing, but you'll be able to gauge by the strokes of the quill what he is writing in terms of the language. Like you can see, oh, he's writing, that's a C and a U and a so on and so forth. Like you'll be able to tell what language that is.
How close do I have to get to him?
I'm gonna say it would be a normal stealth check, and it would be dangerously close to the point where if you are spotted, it will be an initiative roll to see if he catches you.
I'm not gonna risk. I don't want to risk the getting spotted, especially alone.
Hell yeah. Well, then you at the very least do see that he is writing something. You don't know what, but he is.
Okay.
And that's what you. This looks like it's not a well-oiled machine. They're just trying to get by. Those are the only things. Those are the only things you see. You maybe see. I will say actually, you see maybe one of them gets like a small campfire ready to cook, where they kind of like put out a couple of logs or something like that and get like a cauldron and start to like fill it up with water and then cut up some potatoes and stuff like that. Looks like they're getting ready to eat. And yeah, that's what you see. Is there anything that Harvey wants to do in this moment with all that information?
I'm fighting myself. I'm fighting myself right now. What are they making?
Like food?
Yeah.
Looks like some type of stew. They don't have any meat to go in it, so
okay.
It's like just some tubers, some carrots, maybe like. That's kind of it, really. It looks like they've got the bare necessities. They got the very, very bare bones basics here.
Right.
And they're trying to make it last as long as they can.
Okay. I don't think there's anything else I can gather here.
Unless you were to, like...
Unless I were
unless you were to risk yourself being spotted or directly make your presence known, yeah, there's not much else that can be gleaned.
Yeah, I don't want to do that.
Okay. Do you want to start?
I want to, but I want to, but Harvey doesn't.
good man. Good fucking good roleplay. Does Harvey want to go back to the meeting point?
I think that is going to be my
best. Or
actually,
I will actually put out. This is something that I just thought of. Do you want to follow that troll that's going out hunting?
You know what? Actually, I want to do that. Yeah, I want to sneak after him.
Cool. I won't make you roll a stealth check now. We'll go ahead and do that once we cut back to you, as we're going to go ahead and see what's going on with Loom. Actually, no. We'll do that now, because I feel like that will be a good way to potentially intersect with Lumia, Moggs, and Caius and what they're doing. Roll a stealth check.
Oh no.
This one's not going to be at advantage because you are having to actively move and trudge through the snow and stuff like that.
Right.
Ooh. Was that 19?
Yeah.
Oh, fucking yeah. Okay, yeah. Easy does it. You are trailing this guy like you would trail a mark through a city. You've done this before. You know what to do. You hide behind the trees. You wait. You wait until they have a moment where they pause so that you can observe them and catch their mannerisms, see potentially where they're going to move next and try and head them off. You follow them expertly. And you watch as they find a place and they sit down, they open up their bag, and they take out what looks like maybe one of those small like birds or owls that you guys have been seeing, what looks like a dead one, and they toss it out onto the ground in front of them. And then they step into a thicket of trees and sort of like plant their spears in the ground in the snow in order to keep them near them. They hold one in their hands and then they wait behind that tree. They're using a bait technique to try and see if a Scavardi will show up. This troll is fully alone, and they are one of the weaker looking trolls. They are you don't know where Lumia, Moggs, and Caius are right now, but I am telling Haru that Lumia, Moggs, and Caius will need to make a stealth check when they come down the mountain.
Okay.
Oh, you're gonna hate that.
Are they going to be close enough to where I can
If you wanna
hear
play-
them before the troll does?
that would be a pretty high perception check, DC.
Okay,
You've
there's
got
no way.
17, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so here's the deal.
I'm just
The troll's bonus to perception. The troll's perception DC is 12. If the party collectively rolls above a 12 but below a 17, you will spot them, but the troll will not. And with that having been said, do you want to just go ahead and observe this troll for a moment? Because then we'll cut over.
Where is he in relation to his weapon?
He doesn't have a weapon. It's just the spears. The spears that he's planted in the ground, they're directly next to him. He has one in his hand right now.
Okay.
He basically he went behind the tree, planted the 3 other spears in the ground, is holding one in his hand, and is basically crouched behind the tree, kind of just like looking to see when a Scavardi shows up.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna wanna sit and wait.
Okay. Lumia, Moggs, and Caius, what are you guys doing? Guys, you're looking at your hands. You've got like 13 fingers. You don't know how you got more fingers.
Boss, I think you're gonna have to deal with Caius. He doesn't seem to like me right now.
Yeah, I am definitely trying to herd Caius in the right direction without
Caius is
getting
looking down at their hands like, holy fuck.
I can punch so much harder with these.
Dude, you actually look. There are no longer 100 Moggs. There's now one 1-inch tall Moggs that is falling behind you.
You know, you would be very good in battle if you utilize all these skills you have. Like
Yeah, they're like so small that they straight up just sound like what's the like Horton Hears a Who? It's like one of those sorts of deals where it's like I can't quite.
It's like she's trying to speak to me. I know it. Lumia, did you know she can do this?
Caius, I
Caius
have
points
no
to a
idea what
perfectly
you're
normal
talking
Moggs.
I just say, sure, buddy, continue this way.
They guide you towards the edge of the cliff. You look down. That is easily like a mile drop, Caius. Like if you go down that mountain, you're gonna die.
Do I remember what it was before?
Yeah, you remember what it was before, but there's clearly some kind of magic at work here. Like something's not right. You're looking around. You're like, where's the spellcaster that has done this?
I'm gonna look to Lumia and be like, there's no way I jumped that. There's no way I cleared that cliffside like that. I don't even think the rope is that long. How did I?
Caius points down to like a 30, like a drop that if you were to drop it would hurt a little bit, but you could all do it. Kai points down like, there's no way I jumped that. And like
With the
honestly,
snow, it's even padded.
It is kind of superhuman what Caius did like on his own, but in Caius's mind, he's like, what the? Wait, what? I didn't do that, did I? So it's not like so absurd that Lumia would instantly clock that Caius is hallucinating something. You would have to like maybe push a little further, be like, what are you seeing, Caius?
Yeah, I think I would be like, sure you did. Do you not remember that? What are you talking about?
Oh, I remember it, but
You have this image in your mind,
and then I'm like
Superman jumping through the air, like cutting through clouds, reaching the top.
If that is the case,
Oh my god!
Caius, if you're gassing me up right now to think that to make Caius think I jumped that, he's gonna be like, well, if that's the case, I guess I can jump down.
Do you wanna take a leap?
No, because I do remember pulling those two up, and I don't believe that I can just leave them to their devices to jump down.
Good fucking man. Caius gets it. Caius understands. Your friends need you, man.
So
You don't have enough rope for this, though.
yeah, no, like
So do you
Well,
want to
the thing
check
is-
your rope in your pack to be like, okay, I only have 50 feet. Let's just go ahead and check to see like how far.
Well, no, because that's the thing. I'm in my head, like Caius knows that he pulled them up, and I'm like, God, I guess the rope was much longer. So he's just gonna
you start to take the rope out, and you pull just an infinite length of rope out of your bag. Moggs and Lumia, you see Caius pull the 50 feet of rope out of their bag, and then keep making the motion like they're pulling more rope out of their bag, and it's just on the floor in front of them.
I look over at Moggs and make like the cuckoo like symbol around my head and point at him.
I'm so sorry, Bear, that I have to keep fucking with you like this.
Oh my
It's
God!
really
Look,
funny.
I feel like if it was gonna be anyone, it would have been me.
Yeah. It would have either been you or Moggs, because weirdly, if it was Moggs in this moment, it would be half as detrimental because they already have disadvantage on ability checks.
Oh God! Yeah, that would have been
It's really funny.
anyway.
You like figure out actually, Caius. It's not like you're coming out of your stupor, but you figure out after a moment you're like, I see more rope that I'm pulling out, but I do not feel it in my hands. The sense of touch has not been changed. So you're pulling this rope and you physically see it, but then your hands like pass through it. It doesn't make any sense to your brain, and it kind of clicks for you. You're like, oh, I've pulled out all the rope.
I think you should just go tie the rope to like his waist or something.
I was thinking, I'm not sure. I'm not sure if there are any trees around that are close enough that we could either use the length of
There's
rope
like
to
a
tie it
boulder.
to. Okay, that works. I think maybe we tie the rope to a boulder, and if it's not long enough, we should all have some rope. I'm assuming that we could maybe tie together. But Caius,
Yeah.
do you think that you can hold on to a rope and safely scale down?
As
This-
Lumia's saying this, they mention like that. You can hear them now, by the way. I figured I'd mention that. You hear them mention like we can tie it to this boulder, and you look at the boulder. There's a like granite statue of you flexing. And then they say like, do you think that you could hold us? Do you think Lumia's talking about the boulder? And you're like, I mean, yeah, of course, that could hold you. It's a great looking statue. How did that get here, by the way?
I would be like, that's kind of, it's gonna make him uncomfortable actually.
Yeah,
He's
like
gonna be
someone
somebody-
sculpted a granite sculpture of you. You haven't even been in Serendipitous for like a week.
It's like the only people I would think that, I mean, the most time I've spent with somebody or the group I'm with, I was like, when did you guys do that? And I'm pointing to the boulder. And I was like,
boulder.
and if
What?
that's the, if you, that magnificent sculpture you've made of me.
I mean, I appreciate your appreciation for Mother Earth,
Like-
but it's just a boulder, man.
Hyas does say that magnificent sculpture of me pointing at a rock.
Like, you've got all the features. I know you were impressed by when I got up here, but my God.
Okay.
But if anything, yes, I can definitely hold this. Like, I think it would be better if I hold the rope than tying it to that. I don't want to mess that up.
I don't think you'll be holding the rope. I will not be scaling down a small cliff attached to an inebriated person.
Hell
What do
yeah!
you-
All right.
Inebriated.
that's a big one for you,
Does it kind of click?
Yeah, it does. It does click. You realize you have been hallucinating. The knowledge of the hallucinations does not make them look any less real, but Caius can now attempt to differentiate between something he believes is real and something he does not believe is real. You're still going to see them, but again, your sense of touch has not been changed. So you
Gotcha.
like approach the statue, and your hand moves over a completely sort of like not completely smooth, but it's a rock, it's a boulder. You run your hand over it, and you're like, this isn't a statue of me. You get maybe a little sad.
Gotcha. No. Well, I know it's not there anymore, so I mean, my feelings aren't hurt, but it's fine.
Lumia, you actually do clock Caius is getting it.
I'm so happy. I'm relieved.
So if I can still gather that my sense of touches and everything is you can trust me with holding the rope.
If you were to close your eyes and plug your ears and just focus on the sensation of touch to help them down the cliff face, I would let you make your roll without disadvantage.
Gotcha. Then yes, I'll be able to do that because now that I'm like aware of that, my like auditory and visual like senses are like shot.
Those are the only two.
Then
and
I
so
will.
like you also recognize if you don't plug your ears, you're gonna start hearing like Lumia or Moggs going like they're just gonna start fucking. There's gonna be some hallucination that's gonna happen where you'll be like, what's wrong?
At that point, I'm like, shut up, stop talking to me.
Yeah, there's
Like-
no way, no realm in which I am going to risk potential injury to myself or Moggs at a minimum, just so
You
he can
tie the
take us
rope
down.
around the.
That's-
around
I'm
the
tying
boulder.
it around the boulder.
Cool. No need to make a check if you tied it around the boulder. You scale down the cliff face just fine. I will also say it maybe is a little difficult. You still see the mile-long like drop, but your memory starts to like unfuzzify, and it makes more sense where you're like, no, this was like 30 feet before. That 50-foot like thing of rope that Lumia just dragged down that thing looked like it went on for miles, but you know it's just 50 feet. You understand that in your head, you're still looking down a mile deep cliff.
Gotcha. So at this point, Kais is like realizing that, hey, I cannot trust what I'm seeing nor hearing. Just go with your other senses.
The strange sort of cognizance that comes from someone who is having a bad trip, where you are actively fighting the trip, where you are like, it's not like fighting as in trying to muscle your way through, because that would just make it worse, but just like your awareness is suddenly heightened in this moment, where you understand that like, if you cannot trust your eyes and you cannot trust your ears, you can only trust what you're feeling, what you can sense around. Your sense of smell is also not inhibited. So you kind of like, you close your eyes as you approach this rope on the boulder, you take a deep breath in, you can feel the cold, crisp air of, you know, the land surrounding you. You start to hear maybe like a whisper behind you. It sounds like Moggs fucking with you, but you know, well, actually, you don't know if Moggs is fucking with you. Do you glance behind you to see?
No, at this point, I'm not like if I've understood that I'm like hallucinating things, then I'm like the survival instincts will kick in.
Okay. Moggs, are you fucking with them? Are you?
I throw a snowball at him.
You do feel that you. Okay. You've got your eyes closed, right?
Mm-hmm.
Cool. You don't see an arrow coming at you, but you do feel a snowball hit you. If you were looking, you would have seen. Looks like Moggs just loosed an arrow at you. No, you hear it. You feel a snowball poof against the back of your head, and you're like, "Yep."
He's just gonna grumble.
But you climb down. You climb down no problem, and there's this almost an enhancement of your senses in this moment, where your sense of smell and your sense of touch are like becoming sharper. I'd like for Caius to roll a medicine check. You do have disadvantage because you're poisoned, but I would like Caius to roll a medicine check as you have that sort of realization. Ooh, what's your bonus?
I got it. I just flat 15.
Flat 15? Okay, that is what you needed. On disadvantage even. Holy shit. If this were to be extracted and potentially, like, if you got to an alchemical professional, they could make this into a medicine that has real effects that would enhance your sense of touch and smell.
Oh, and then this what? This is what I.
This is a drug. This is clearly like this is meant to get you high. But there's this almost like this brain blast. Like you open your eyes as you get down. You see Lumia taking the rope off of the boulder that's up there. You see Lumia wrestling with a gigantic serpent, and you're like, oh my god. You look up to the sky. You see snowflakes falling, except they're like gargantuan boulder-sized snowflakes that hit the ground. The earth shakes as they strike, like boom, like fall over. Entire forests are felled as some of these snowflakes fall, and you kind of just go like, okay. All right, you close your eyes again.
There's no way this is actually happening around me. There would have been much more violent screams and everything of that nature.
Even with your eyes closed, there's still like you're just because you close your eyelids does not mean your eyes are not seeing. They're still seeing the backs of your eyelids. You see, you see rainbow colors. You see all sorts of strange things, and it's in that moment where you kind of recognize how sensitive you are to the feelings of the area surrounding you. That snowball that hit you in the back of your head isn't ice cold, but you can feel every individual.
Oh God, that is awful.
It's well, that's the thing, right? It would be awful if that was all it was. It was like you can feel every one of them, but it's like, no, you just know they're there. You're cognizant.
You also know
them.
their names.
You're cognizant of the fact where you're like, there's 12 droplets of water that are running down my neck.
Oh my God.
And it's not one of these things where it's like invasive or something like that. It just kind of pops into your head and you're like, I'm aware of that. It's almost subconscious.
So, but with what I rolled, I can be like, I know that.
This could be medicine.
I learned from this entire experience that this could be made good.
Yeah, this could be made into a potion. This could be made into a
Gotcha.
potion that would actively enhance your senses.
Gotcha. All right, then I was like, I'm going. Has everybody made it down the cliffside, or is like?
You've all made it down. You've gotten the rope.
Okay, so after this whole like this whole brain fuck thing going on, I'm not even going to like. I'm not gonna open my eyes. I'm just gonna turn to where I think Lumia is standing.
Eyes closed, staring at Lumia.
I'm gonna be like, whatever you do, like, can you do me a favor and just hold on to a few of those bananas for me? For me, please.
Sure thing, Caius.
I would look, because I've after everything that just transpired, I'm going to let you know that I quite understand the situation I'm in. But I think those can be used for something much better. Just don't. Actually, if you want to, I would say if you want to mess somebody up, use it just by all means let them drink it. If you don't like somebody, please. But I want you to know, I think that we can make those into something quite amazing for us.
At this point, this seems like the ramblings of a madman to Lumia, even though Caius is trying to like state that he's aware.
Caius has a true brain blast moment, but the precedent has been set. Lumia, Mog's like not gonna believe you.
Well,
like when you come to later, you're gonna be like, no, I like actually believe this could be medicine, and then Lumia and Mog's gonna be like, oh, like.
So
right now,
just like. I don't know.
Right now, he just sounds like your friend that left like a dubstep set at Bonnaroo, and he's talking about like how he can see God, and you're like, sure you can, buddy. Let's go get a PB&J.
Caius sounds like the person who like misread the label on the edible and took way too much. Went to take a shower, comes back and goes like, dude, I can feel colors. It's like crazy. Did you know that everything's interconnected?
Exactly. Oh my God. But he's like genuinely speaking, please do not like hold on to those. Please.
I'd like for everybody to make a stealth check. Moggs and Caius have to do so at disadvantage.
Damn.
Oh no.
Moggs is already at disadvantage because of their armor. Actually, Lumia, you're also at disadvantage because of your armor.
I cast guidance on myself.
In that?
You are not included in that.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure.
I will say this is not going to be a group check. This is not going to be a group check. This is going to be individual check. So if one of you fails, the rest of you won't be spotted, but you will be. Also, Lumia, what type of armor do you have on?
Oh, it's heavy.
Okay, you do roll at disadvantage.
Okay, I rolled, but I also cast guidance on myself, so I'm
okay.
rolling
Yeah, hell yeah.
Can inspiration be used on a single raw die of a disadvantage?
Actually,
I will say if it allows you to re-roll the check, you roll the whole thing over again. You get to take the better of the two total. So like you roll disadvantage, you get a 4 and a 5, you take the 4. Then you roll disadvantage again, you get like a 6 and a 16. You'll take the 6 over the 4.
Oh my God, wait, this is blowing my mind. I forgot. I'm rolling at disadvantage, so does that mean I needed to do 2 d20s?
Yes, 2 d20s and take the lowest.
So
What?
You can take your 12 and then roll just one more die if you want.
Well,
Here,
it's already.
Don't move those.
yeah, it's already out. Go ahead and do it.
There we go.
Thank you.
I was about to say, go for it.
Snipe them. We got 12 and 4. Oh God. All right, everybody. Lumia,
Cool.
what is your total stealth roll?
If I take the lower of the 2, it is 8.
Beautiful. Moggs, what is your total stealth roll?
That would be a 5.
Caius? What's your total?
That's a 4.
Harvey, you instantly clock not 3 bumbling idiots, but just 3 really loud people that you know are your companions talking, and Caius is like, please don't throw away those bananas, dude. Please don't throw away those bananas. And like accidentally taps the fucking like the necklace that they have just like when they're moving their hands, and it loudly speaks in Moggs' voice. And Lumia's like, okay, Caius, like just calm down, man. They're having a full conversation. You know the troll has clocked them. You have a moment to act, Harvey. Whatever you're going to do, you must do it now because you know that the troll spotted them. You don't know what the troll is going to do.
I would like to set up I would like to use my rope.
Okay.
Can I set up a tripwire?
That would take
In the direct-
significantly longer than
That's
the time
fair.
you
That's
want.
very fair.
You've got maybe 6
A
seconds.
moment.
to
I would
react.
like to pull out my bow.
Okay.
We're far enough away that this is like a scuffle here is not going to alert the town, right?
Yeah, you're far enough away here to where if there's a scuffle here, the town will not be alerted. Actually, Harvey, I'd like you to make an insight check to figure out what you think this troll is going to do. To just get more information.
Okay.
Oh, fuck.
Our
Yeah,
rolls have been ass tonight.
Man,
Yeah.
part of that is disadvantage, but the other part is, yeah, the rolls have been bad. You have no clue. Well, actually, what's your bonus to insight?
It's a 4.
Fuck,
We're
yeah.
just
No idea. Not the foggiest, faintest idea. You don't know if they're going to attack. You don't know if they're going to stay there and hide and try and sneak up on them. You don't know if they're going to try and run. You have no clue. You cannot gauge what this troll is going to do. So you take out your bow.
yeah.
Do you do anything with it? Do you want to prepare an action to like, hold it in the case they do something?
Yeah, I would like to like have an arrow notched.
Okay.
And, like
So how holding an action works is you specify a trigger for you to perform the action. So if you want to like knock an arrow and prepare to fire your bow, what do you want the triggering condition to be for you to fire your arrow?
if he runs in the direction of the camp.
If he runs in the direction of the camp, okay. You're gonna fire at him.
Oh,
I would like to fire at his legs.
At his legs. So generally speaking, the way that like attacking a creature works, even in narrative combat, is you're attacking the whole of the creature, and if you critically succeed, you can maybe specify like, I want to hit him in the eye, I want to hit him in the leg.
Yeah.
I can say, we'll say that you're aiming for the leg. You're aiming for like a non-lethal sort of shot. Cool. They immediately drop the spear in their hand and start to sprint back towards the camp, giving you an opportunity to fire.
God.
Oh my god.
Go ahead and roll an attack with advantage. You are hiding from them. They don't know you're there. And if you hit, you will trigger sneak attack on them.
Okay. I'm trying to remember.
As
Yeah,
far as
20,
I recall, yeah, it's so you're not adding a d8 to this now. It's just you're rolling 2d20 because you have advantage. Then after you roll the 2d20, I'll tell you whether or not you hit.
Pew-pew.
Oh my
What
god.
is
What is happening? You got advantage, so you'll take the 6. What's your bonus to hit?
You could inspire it.
You could inspiration.
I would like
re-roll.
an inspiration.
Hell yeah, use your inspiration. You re-roll with advantage. So you roll another 2d20,
okay.
take the higher one.
Sweet Neptune.
So that was a 6. What the fuck is happening with the rolls today? Okay, that's better. That's much better.
13 is much better. What am I?
You're adding your dexterity and proficiency bonus, so I assume because of what you
3.
told me, that's a bonus of +5.
Oh yeah. My bad.
So that would be an 18.
Yes.
That definitely hits. You're going to roll whatever the normal damage of your bow is, which I believe is a d6. You're going to add your sneak attack damage to it, which at this level is another d6, and then you're going to add your dexterity. So 2d6 plus 3 is what you're rolling.
I grabbed the wrong 2d6.
2d6 plus 3. So a total of 6 damage. You loose an arrow. Go ahead and make a stealth check to see if you can like be hidden afterwards, if they like spot you. No fucking yeah, they have no idea. You fire off this arrow. You are hidden in such a way to where you're actually like having to thread this arrow between several trees. You manage to land the shot in their hip area. You hear this kind of like as they stumble slightly as they're struck by an arrow. They clutch their side. They glance behind them. They see nothing in the trees, and you clock absolute terror in their face as they start to scream. They are sprinting towards the town, yelling as loud as they possibly can. There is no way in hell that people in maybe like a mile-wide radius will
God.
as they are, they are. If you want to pursue, you can, but you will have to not abandon, but you'll have to like leave Mog's Lumia and.
I definitely don't want that.
Okay,
but can I do what I would consider a makeshift intimidation check?
What are you trying to do?
Can I mimic his scream back at him as he's running away?
Oh, Jesus Christ. Yeah, make an intimidation check.
What the fuck?
I don't even understand.
Make your choice of either intimidation or performance, and do so with advantage because this is fucking sick.
Oh shit. Okay.
That's fine. Okay, so we got a 12 there. See if you get higher. Is that a natural 20?
That is a natural 20.
Oh my god. Okay.
I can't imagine anything scarier than like after being attacked and
the nat 20
running away. Like that would scare the shit out of me.
Yeah. So like let's real quick go to his perspective. He is waiting. He's sitting there waiting for it's for a creature to take the bait. He's crouched over, maybe a little tired. It's been a long day. It was a long night last night, and you know he's not quite fully rested for the day today. And he's sitting there, he's just minding his own business. Kind of drifts off a little bit, and then he sees these three, what look to him like adventurers, coming down the cliffside. He goes, "Oh shit! I need to warn the town. Adventurers, that's bad." And as he turns to run, he knows that those adventurers probably can't spot him from this distance, so he's like, okay, I have the opportunity to run. I can warn the town. I need to warn the town. He turns to run, immediately feels a sharp stinging pain in his side, screams as a consequence of it, and hears his exact identical scream, same cadence and volume back at him from the woods. He falls unconscious. He is so frightened that his face goes fully white and he falls to the ground. He skids in the snow for a moment. There's an arrow sticking out of his ass.
No.
It is at this point, Moggs, Lumia, and Caius, that you guys clock. Oh, Harvey's over there.
Or did we just hear the same scream twice in a row?
Yes, that is very. You guys are a little frightened. You guys don't know what the fuck that was, but you actually, I'll go ahead and say at this point, Harvey, you're safe enough to where you can expose yourself to the crew and kind of wave.
Okay, that was my annihilation bear moment.
Look, I want you to know, like, what does the scream sound like to me?
Oh, to you? Highest roll a wisdom save.
Fuck.
Pick a Tom and Jerry.
Shut up. Yeah.
Wisdom save for me, man. See, it's good. Okay. You do not also pass out, but it is. I don't know, man. It's like you just took drugs. You know, recreational marijuana or something like that. You decided, I'm gonna have an edible tonight. You sit down, you take the edible, and then you get like, I don't know, as the edible's kicking in, full-fledged kicking in, you get like a text from your ex or something. That is the emotion that goes through you at this moment.
Sucks.
You are fully like, oh my god.
I'm like, god damn it. Oh my god.
That's the sort of like emotional bandwidth of this thing that has just occurred, is you're kind of like, what the fuck is happening? Not now.
I don't want to do it.
The four of you can reunite.
I'm quite. I need to punch something right now. I need to hit something.
What is going on? What was that sound?
Haru, if you want to, you can approach the party and like meet up with them again.
Hello, everybody.
After you basically just kill the guy.
My voice is super hoarse.
My eyes are still closed, so I don't see him at all.
You're not sure if Harvey's there, Bear, because you know, like Caius is aware that there's auditory hallucinations. You start to hear Harvey, and you're like,
What?
But
But
here's the problem: if you open your eyes to look, you also won't know if that's a hallucination. The only way to tell is to touch them.
I did say hi, Harvey.
You did say hi, Harvey, but they don't know if that's a hallucination.
Exactly.
Auditory and visual, they cannot trust. They can only trust their sense of feeling.
So I'm gonna need whoever made that noise. Come here real
Yeah,
quick.
you see Caius with a full-fledged, like, eyes closed, their cheeks are flushed, they're sweating on the top of their head. They hold their arms up, they go, come here.
Harvey, you gotta touch this man's face.
What in the world happened to you both?
Just touch his face.
I have to touch his face?
Yeah, he needs to know you're here.
If you'd like to make either an insight or medicine check to figure out what the fuck is going on, you can, Hari. Hari, you can. Hari, Jesus. Yeah, Caius is high.
He did the drugs.
It's just easier if you just touch his face.
Okay, all right. I'll just. I don't. I touch Caius's face for some reason.
You feel bird hand on your face and know for a fact that Harvey is in fact he's there.
Harvey, when did you get here? When did you hear that noise?
I just got back to this area, and yes, the second noise was me.
What was the first noise?
It's like he's trying to speak to me. I know it.
The first noise was him.
Yeah, they point into the woods, and it's at this point that you kind of like parse through the trees and stuff, and Moggs and Lumia, you see the unconscious body of a troll.
Why is he unconscious?
There's an arrow sticking out of his butt.
Do we know he's unconscious?
He's not moving.
I can't believe you
he's
killed that
breathing.
troll by yourself.
No, he's breathing. I think I just scared him.
Did
Why
you check
did you
to see if he was
shoot him?
breathing?
So we both heard you coming down the mountain at the same time, and he started running back to alert everybody, and I just wanted to make sure that he didn't get to do that.
I am gonna go
scared?
ahead and say, just for the record, I know I said earlier that like a scuffle wouldn't alert anybody, but a scream belted out as loud as humanly possible absolutely would have. All of you understand the fact that while they won't know what is going on, they know that something is going on, and there may potentially be some amount of interference from the camp coming soon.
I think at this point, Lumia is running over to the troll to check on them.
Yeah, go ahead and make a medicine check to determine, like, to tell how he's doing.
Moggs
If you roll high enough, I'll tell you his exact hit points.
I'm gonna
What's
use
up?
guidance.
What's
Moggs
up?
is going along with.
Cool. Do you want to give the help action to Lumia to give them advantage?
Sure.
Hell yeah. For future reference, in the case that there's like, if I'm asking for a check from you guys, that you're all in a big group together, you can either designate one person to make the check with advantage, or designate two individual people to make the check. Also, Lumia can always apply guidance to them. So in this case, Lumia's going in, they're rolling with advantage, and they have guidance.
Actually, I'm gonna stick with what I was originally planning on doing.
Okay, yeah, hell yeah. So we'll start with what Lumia. Actually, I don't know. What are you gonna do, Moggs?
Moggs is gonna take one of the potions
Oh Jesus
and
Christ!
position it so that it looks like the troll had drunk it, and
Okay.
empty it onto the ground as well, and
Yeah,
then
we'll
put
say-
it
we'll
like
say
in
you-
their hand.
We'll say you already have an empty bottle if you don't want to waste one that you have. The
Yeah.
one that Caius drank, you can use that one and then like dribble out the little last bits around him.
Yep.
Oh.
Cool. Make a, I don't know, make like a performance check to see how well you can set this up. Yes. or maybe a sleight of hand. Performance or sleight of hand. I'll let you choose.
Am I getting a guidance on this?
Yeah, Lumi can do that if
Yeah.
she wants.
Oops. No, there's too many d20s. Cancel. How do I cancel?
I love
You have to hold them.
Oh, and then escape.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so sleight of hand.
Oh no. It was a natural 20.
I'll use my inspiration.
Okay. Oh my god! I'll let you take the 3 from that guidance and add it to the other roll that you have.
Okay, so that would be then 11.
Cool. Also, for future reference, the inspirations let you reroll the d20s. Guidance is a separate effect.
Oh, okay.
So advantage and disadvantage is rerolled, but like guidance or bardic inspiration or any of that stuff, that's a one and done. So what's the total? It's 11?
Yeah, because it was 4, my bonus is +4, and then the 3 from the guidance.
Cool. Yeah, you position it relatively convincingly. It's not like the world's greatest thing, but it's also someone who's not super perceptive is going to look at that and go like, damn, dude, you had a bender. Lumia, what is the total for your medicine check that you got?
I think it was 7.
7? I thought you rolled like a 12 or like a 13 or something.
I don't think I did. No.
Okay, so a total of 7 is still going to be enough to tell he's alive. He's breathing. You aren't really sure what state the rest of his body's in. You don't know if he's injured. He has an arrow sticking out of his butt. That's the first thing you notice.
I think at this point I'm really concerned that we have maybe unintentionally, benefit of the doubt, wounded someone that did not do anything wrong, which feels bad for me, and I think that my inclination would be to heal this person so that they are no longer hurt.
Okay. So as you go to heal them in whatever form you choose to do so, either by cure wounds or healing word or what have you, as you go to prepare to do this, you actually watch as the arrow fully falls out of their backside, and you see the wound seals shut. And you recall something about trolls. They have natural regeneration. This is why trolls are weak to fire. Not because they take additional damage, but because fire stops their regeneration. It cauterizes their wounds and prevents them from regenerating those wounds. And it's at this moment that you actually see regeneration is dangerous for 2 reasons. One, because obviously when they're taking damage, they get to restore that damage actively. And 2, because when they're knocked unconscious, they come back to consciousness quickly. You start to see this troll stir on the ground while you guys are right there. They're not fully awake yet. You have maybe 6 seconds to do something.
6 seconds,
I'll say,
huh?
6 seconds is the length of a round. In mechanically speaking, 10 rounds is 1 minute. So you have 6 seconds, which is 1 round, which allows you to perform an action, bonus action, a movement, and technically reaction. Moggs and Lumia are directly adjacent to this guy, and I'll say Bear and Haru, you guys have maybe stayed back a little bit.
Caius is sitting on the ground trying to keep his shit together.
Yeah, Caius is like
his eyes are closed. Like he's tore a piece of his cloak off to tie it around his eyes.
Just trust what you feel. Trust what you feel.
Exactly.
Believe yourself. And Haru, we'll say that Harvey stayed back because you already knew the guy was there. You knew he was probably alive, so they ran up to try and help him out. Neither of you really clock that this guy is about to stir, so you don't get an opportunity to react. But Moggs and Lumia, what do you guys do? You can't. I will put this out there. I know this is DM chicanery. You don't have to trust me on this because I will tell you these are just options I'm giving to you. You can choose to do nothing.
Moggs looks at Lumia and just says, "Book it."
Does Moggs then book it?
Yes.
Okay, cool. You're trudging through the snow, so you can move half of your movement speed and then take an action to move another half of your movement speed. So you say book it, and then you know those videos of dogs going through deep snow? That's what Moggs kind of looks like, is very clearly a straight line to where they're going.
Moggs is short enough that it's like the dogs going through the snow when they have to leap to see out of it.
Yeah. So maybe there's like little divots in the snow as they're doing it. What do you do, Lumia?
I briefly
Just Mog's
considered
bucket.
casting sleep, but seeing Mog spurred to action causes me to panic and I flee as well.
Hell yeah, yeah. So you guys get far enough to where you could be behind trees. I will say that Caius and Harvey do not need to make stealth checks because you guys are far enough away to where the moment you see the troll stand, you can hit the deck and you're just not able to be seen. Lumia and
Dude,
Mog,
I don't see anything that's happening.
You're just sitting crisscross applesauce. That's
I'm
right.
just sitting there, like.
Then
in
I'll
line
say
of
because
sight.
of the distance that you're at, I will still let you make a stealth check if you want to. You do not have to. It will be disadvantaged because you are poisoned. But
See-
then Lumia and Moggs will need to make stealth checks. Both
See-
of you guys have disadvantage.
I'm at
But that's the thing.
Jesus
That's
Christ.
that's the thing. Like I don't know what's going on. Nothing's really being communicated to me, and I'm just sitting. I'm just sitting there.
What is your bonus to stealth? Your normal stealth.
Oh, my normal stealth.
it's like
I think it's a +1.
+1. Okay, so you are naturally setting a stealth DC of 11 because you have disadvantage that is functionally a -3 or -4. So because of that, you are setting a DC of 7 for the troll to spot you.
Mhm.
Moggs and Lumia may attempt to make stealth checks. You
use
can give guidance
guidance.
to one of you. Hell yeah.
Yeah, you do.
Here's my pitch, Bell.
Yeah, hit me with it.
Rather than like trying to hide behind a tree,
Oh,
Moggs is, while bounding straight away in the snow, on the final one before like running out of movement, is just going to faceplant, go straight into the snow and dive
Hit the deck. Okay.
and be under snow.
Sure. I'll say you roll it with advantage so you cancel out your disadvantage.
Okay.
What did you roll total, Lumia?
12.
12, okay.
19.
19?
Do you have anything to dexterity?
Who?
You.
Absolutely not.
Interesting.
Heavy armor.
I don't know. Oh yeah, that's
Heavy
right. That's
armor,
right.
babe.
That's right.
The troll stands up. They put their hand on their butt and kind of like glance behind them a little bit, looking at their butt. And then they kind of squint. They look around, look left, look right, kind of scratch their head, and then look back to see if their spears are still there. They look down to see if they can see the arrow. They don't see the arrow. It fell into the snow. And you watch this troll kind of like think to themselves, and all of you can clock this. Shit, what happened to me? And then they go back to where they were before. They don't even notice the bottle that I'm sorry. They didn't even roll. They rolled a total of 4 in their perception check. They don't see fucking anything.
You mean to tell me I literally just sat in the open?
And he doesn't see you, yeah. He walks back over to his spears, crouches back down, picks the one up that he dropped, and waits for the Scavardi to show up. He goes back to doing whatever he was doing before because he genuinely believes he might have just dreamed all that. It was a tired night before. He might have, passed out.
Oh my gosh.
What do you guys want to do? Moggs and Lumia, you guys can sneak off enough to like be with with Caius and Harvey and kind of like usher them to a like far enough distance to where you're not going to alert that guy again if you want to.
Moggs' army crawling under the snow.
Moving at like 5 feet around, just like
Yeah.
You make it. You do make it. Like there's a point where there's like a break in the snow and you're far enough away.
It's literally the Bugs Bunny like dirt piling up as it moves along.
So the 4 of you can abscond to a further distance away. Would you like to do so?
Yes.
Cool.
I think we should all try to get away.
Yeah, we can say that you guys can go back to your camp if you want to.
Is somebody ushering me?
Almost certainly.
Okay. Because I did not see no troll.
You did not. Yeah, Bear doesn't really know. Like,
I don't
Caius
know.
has no clue.
I have no idea what's happening. All I heard was the scream, and then you guys, I mean, nothing really from that. So,
so you guys make it back to your camp to reconvene and discuss what has happened.
Did that thunder get picked up by my mic?
A little bit.
I didn't hear it.
That was
I
loud.
didn't hear anything either.
Okay.
I thought I heard something. Maybe it was just background noise from someone else.
So, I mean, I Kai's can't really say anything. He's just, well, I guess once we get back to camp, Kai's is still just sitting there like crisscross applesauce, just trying
You're
to.
just like looking at your hands, just amazed.
No, he's blindfolded right
Yeah,
now.
you blindfolded yourself. You're starting to see like a full film on your like eyelids, dude. You're starting to you see like Harvey fucking like with a board in their hands, like they were on the ship. You see Harvey start to spin like a drill and just drill a hole through the board, and you're like, whoa.
Nope.
I know that's not real, but like, damn, that would be cool. They use their beak as like, they just drill a hole through it. You're like, holy shit.
Kais is not saying anything in this conversation. When that's about to happen.
Lumia, or not Lumia, you see like Moggs has put the like little enchantment that they put on your necklace on literally every object that you own, and as you walk, the only thing you hear is that same phrase repeated, overlapped over itself like 1,000 times every time you like move, because you're touching it and you're activating it. Just like, what was the phrase specifically, Fen? It was like, don't break things you don't own.
Yeah, something like that.
Something like that.
I should have written it down.
Don't break things you don't know. Don't break things. Don't break things. Don't break things. It's in the same cadence and everything. It's just like maddening. And even in your,
It's like clown sneaky squeaky shoes, except it's Moggs' voice.
even in your perception behind your eyelids, your memory of Lumia is still crystal clear. That strikes you as strange. There's clearly something going on. Whatever it is, Lumia, your perception of Lumia has not changed.
Gotcha. Okay.
And that does, like, as you are seeing your other companions in these like weird fucking filmographies in your memory, you're seeing this like strange bullshit that never happened. Like there's a moment where your brain just kind of cuts, and it's just Lumia. It's just there. Not doing anything strange, not being weird or anything, just Lumia. You're like, okay. And then you see fucking Harvey drilling through another board. You're like, yeah.
So you know I know. Go back. So like literally, he's almost just sitting there in like a fucking meditative state, trying to catch himself.
You guys go back to your campsite, and the moment you get there, Caius is crisscross applesauce on the ground, almost like hands in their lap. You've done this before, probably, Caius, where you have like meditations to sort of center yourself. That's actually part of like training to become a barbarian. Is in order for you to feel intense rage, you need to be able to feel intense like calmness, and so you are trying to invoke that sort of reverse rage once again.
Mm-hmm.
You're largely successful. You do manage to do it.
Moggs, not having experienced and not fully really understanding the effects of this, is continually bringing other things over and then like touching them to Caius and being like, what does this feel like? What does this feel like?
Oh my god.
Brings like a branch. What does this feel like?
At some point, Caius is gonna like try and palm Moggs' head and move her away.
Maybe like somewhat ineffectually, but yeah, you do manage to like push Moggs away, and Moggs just appears again from a different angle, just like, what does this feel like?
Oh my god.
At this point, I think I would intervene and say, Moggs, let's come sit over here and not make this experience any worse for Caius than it already is.
Like, oh man, I wonder. I'm trying to think, because this would definitely like at some point.
This is going to wear off eventually. It's going to wear off eventually. You're aware of that. Go ahead and make another Constitution saving throw. We'll say it's been about an hour in game since you've taken your first your dosage. Make a Constitution save.
Oh God, please. Okay.
Oh, what's your bonus?
Constitution. It's a 19.
19. There is a break in your hallucinations. You have been struggling with this for an hour now, and you recognize that you can't trust what you see and you can't trust what you hear, but you stop hearing weird shit. and the filmography behind your eyes slowly dwindles down. The rainbows aren't there anymore, but you're still not 100% sure if you're sober. Do you take the blindfold off?
No, I'm just gonna like, if everything starts sounding normal, I'm gonna just trust that. I'm gonna just try to start trusting one sense at a time. So if things start sounding normal a little bit, I'm gonna go with that for a little bit. I'm gonna stay blindfolded.
Okay, cool. Yeah, Caius, you no longer have the poison condition, but I will say that some of the sort of lingering auditory and visual hallucinations may still be there. You don't know.
Gotcha. But I guess he is definitely taking note of like trying to like figure out why only Lumia was like being
for
normal.
Sure. You can definitely kind of like catalog that in your notes or something like that. Maybe even Jinxie can catalog that in her notes to remind you later. But just like mark that down somewhere, because that is a point of interest that you may explore later.
Write it down, because it's your hallucination.
With that having been done, it's been about 2.5 hours. Would we like to take a little break?
Oh, a little break would be nice.
Little bio break.
You guys are back in camp. Caius is sitting crisscross applesauce. You're fairly certain that you've gone through the worst of it, but you're not 100% certain. Moggs is maybe fucking with you a little bit. Harvey, I would imagine you're probably scanning the surrounding area just to make sure, see if any of the patrols have followed you or what have you, because you're almost 100% certain that someone would have gone to investigate that noise, and they would have found the guy with the spears sitting there going like, I don't know, dude, I guess I passed out, and then the other troll being like, what? There's a conversation happening off screen that is truly insane, and then
maybe the other guy finds the vial.
Yeah. Maybe the other, you know what? Maybe the other guy does find the vial. Lumia, describe to me in this moment what it is that you might.
What it is that I might what? I'm so sorry, you cut off.
Which you're sort of like maybe getting your rucksacks off of you, sitting down, having a breather because you did kind of run here. Mog was starting to fuck with Caius. What do you do in this moment? Is there anything in particular?
I think in this moment, I am trying to piece together the events and figure out what we should do next, just because I know we originally came out for this bounty to clear the camp, but I'm a little bit conflicted because it seems like these trolls are a bit downtrodden and they're not hurting anyone, so that kind of makes me feel bad. But then on the other hand, I guess I actually have a question. And maybe, forgive me if we've talked about it, but like, are drugs like illegal in this land?
So it depends on where you are. There is a very hard ban, worth like life sentences kind of deal, in the southern area of Erendipidus, in the lands owned by the nations of Karanak. In the northern areas, in the Independence and the Tabadan colonists area of Erendipidus, it depends on where you are. In Henst and in Pilltop and in Swarvel, it is absolutely illegal. It is 100% illegal. Not as much as it is in the southern hemisphere, but in these sort of like this triangle of areas, yes, drugs are super illegal. If Bohum were, I'm glad you asked, if Bohum were caught, he could face like not just jail time, but potentially like permanent exile from Erendipidus.
Adventurers to get rid of trolls when you're on the level.
You could use this if you really wanted to. If you wanted to just be like, we're not doing it. Also, we know about your illegal drug trade and we have proof. Give us the money anyways. Like, you could try and blackmail him if you wanted to. He's already not a great guy.
Yeah, we've got
also,
options.
as road warden, there was something in the contract to the effect of you can get additional rewards for doing stuff that's not listed quests, right?
I think so. I don't remember.
I feel like there was something about that.
I'm just gonna like jump to it and see.
Mog's reading the contract.
Moggs has no idea. This is just me remembering things.
I'm also going to go ahead and put this out there because I'm not going to keep track of this. And so when you guys get to a place and you're like, how many days have we been adventuring? I have no fucking clue. keep track of the number of days that you've been adventuring, and every day that you spend in a tavern is so like for every day that you're out on the road just doing your normal business, it's 2 gold, and every day that you're in a tavern, it's 1 gold. Keep track of it. Like add that up, because when you get to a town that has coffers, they will give you that money.
Okay, so we got 2 gold for the overnight last night.
Yeah, you got 2 gold for the overnight last night, and today, at the end of the day, you'll tag on another 2 gold. I'll also say, because you did spend 1 day in the town, you will have 1 gold from that. So right now you're at 3. At the end of the day today, you'll be at 5. Free room and board. You're entitled to your own lawfully obtained kills. Missions designated by the council of great importance. Road wardens act as independent, representatives of the Council of Nations serve its people. You may accept unofficial missions that are in the interest of the public or individuals protected by the council. You may also accept rewards from individuals who offer these missions. These missions will not be monetarily supported by the council. You must report failed official missions, but this is not an official mission. There's a difference between bounty board missions and like full-fledged official missions. Official missions will be like very clearly marked. The road, like the Scavardi Nest, that is an official mission. You have the right. Road wardens have the right to enact arrests on behalf of the Council of Nations according to the laws set in place in the given location where a crime is committed. The council encourages all road wardens to be well versed in local law before approaching cities in the southern hemisphere. So you could arrest this guy straight up.
Lumia would know this.
I have the best idea.
Lumia would know this.
Oh, I have the best idea.
I remember putting it there for this reason.
Yeah, I thought there was something like that.
Hell fucking yeah. Okay. So now that you've kind of like settled down, who's first to speak to talk about plans? Would it be Lumia?
It would.
I feel like it would because I'm fired up about this. So I think if in a setting where we have already explained what we found and what we think is going on, I think that we should absolutely, totally get this guy locked up, or we should arrest him ourselves, but not until we have collected our coin. So I think I have a plan. I think...
You both?
Yes, why not both? I think that we should go back to Hinst. I think that we should tell him that we've found his drugs and that we would be willing to trade them back to him if he will give us more than the original bounty actually stated, more gold. And then as soon as he accepts it and takes the drugs into his possession, I think we should arrest him.
So I will say, if you want to give him all of the drugs, that is 5 crates worth of drugs.
Maybe we can just guarantee or tell him that we're not going to take any of them and that we're going to leave him alone. Just give us the gold.
What if we set up almost like a sting and we have the guards there? That way we don't have to move anything.
Oh my god, that's
and he just walks in and they arrest him.
And wouldn't he immediately go back there to ensure that they were safe anyway?
I don't see why
you guys do also, I will say, you guys do have connections in Hence. You have connections to the captain of the guard and to the what is it, not the warden, the steward. You have connections to both of them. So if you wanted to, you could go there and be like, hey, did you know your general store owner is selling drugs? And like, obviously there might be some checks or like some more nuance you would need to perform in order to just walk up to them and be like, drugs? But like, you could probably get them on your side if you rolled well enough. There might be consequences if you roll really poorly, but you know.
This is also something that we can do when we get back there, but we can still do our other things that we're doing down here first, because there's no real crunch on the time clock. Since we accepted the quest, he's not expecting us to be back right away anyways.
Yeah. The only other thing in this immediate area, you would need to travel maybe a day west, and you would be in the area where the Scavardi Nest attacks have been happening.
Yeah, I remembered we're trying to do like a 2 quest loop.
Yeah.
Is what we're doing.
You could go do that, and even like after that, you could probably travel northwest a little bit and go do the fish quest if you wanted to, and just do like do this here, go to the Scavardi nest, do that. That'll take a day, maybe a day and a half. Go up, do the fish quest. That'll take maybe a day and a half, and then by the time you're back, it's been less than a week, and you've done 3 quests. Can collect the gold for all of them. I'm suggesting it is just like that would be around about the time period it would take. It's around like if you were to try to go from here directly to the fish quest, it's just easier for you to pass by Henst. It would take you a day and a half to do that, but everything else is around about a day.
I'm gonna level with you guys. I want to do the fish quest so bad.
It's fine. We can do the fish quest, but I am passionate about extorting the shop owner for more money, arresting him, and then I kind of want to bring some gold back to these trolls. Like anything over what we would have normally made, I want to, like, if we can't bring it back, send it back to them because I feel bad for them.
I will also say, Lumia, there is a sort of like moment of irony here. The teachings of your goddess sort of stipulate don't poke your nose where it doesn't belong, be careful to keep secrets that would be dangerous or to keep secrets that would cause harm unto others, and you can very easily see equations to your scripture here where it's like, this guy is keeping secrets from not only us and he hired us to do this job, but he's also keeping secrets from his town. He's potentially putting the town in danger because he's keeping these secrets, he's keeping these drugs secret and his sort of drug trade secret. There's a lot of like sort of equations you can make to what you've read in your scripture, where even if it weren't directly like a moral obligation that Lumia would have, just by what you've read in your goddess's teachings, it's kind of like, this goes directly against what my goddess teaches. I figured I'd go ahead and give that to you in case that could also be used as inspiration for Lumia.
Oh, thank you. Valid. That's a good note.
Look, at this point, Caius is just like, he at first when he was coming out, he was expected to fight trolls. Then his whole thing, he got drunk.
Something else, man.
Exactly, and I mean, he's at this point, he wants to punch something, but he's not like. He's gonna be very cooperative about what the group wants to do. Because
as you are coming fully up out of this, I'm gonna go ahead and say, the moment you take off your blindfold, this is going to be good for you if you succeed, and nothing will happen if you fail. But this is an incredibly high DC. I need you to make a charisma saving throw. What is your bonus to charisma saving throws?
You said, what is my bonus? Let me see.
What's your bonus to the saving throws for charisma?
It's 0.
Okay, you need to roll a natural 20 on this to get the benefit.
Motherfucker, why would you put that pressure on me?
I'm just,
Got your inspiration still?
Wait, what the hell?
Oh my god.
So close.
Fuck.
I do have my inspiration still, but I don't know if it's worth it.
I am going to tell you the consequence for success here. You will receive a permanent character upgrade.
Motherfucker.
I will also put this out there that if you were to ingest more of the drug, there is more of a chance for not only permanent character upgrades, but permanent character downgrades if you continue to ingest the drug. The first time, it's a freebie, but every time thereafter, there's a chance on failure that something bad happens to your character.
It's like the worm surgery, guys. Remember?
Oh my god.
Do I have a roll as well?
You did not fail your Constitution save, so no.
Oh, okay? I have to fail the save.
No.
You have to fail the save. If you want to burn your inspiration here, genuinely, this might be a good place to do it.
You know what?
We only have about an hour left.
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and go for it.
I mean, it's a 5% chance.
It's a 5% chance, dude. Go forth and prosper.
Come on. Oh fuck! I saw the 0 and I thought it was a 20.
God damn it!
I was about to jump out of my.
It's all good. It's all good. But knowing, I don't think Caius would like try to rely.
Want to do more drugs?
No, I don't like the fact that, like, the knowledge you just gave me. You said you're gonna give this to me, but would Caius know at this point?
I would say that Caius understands that there is some amount of a sort of like sensory epiphany that you were close to. There is a understanding of how you can interact with the world around you that without taking this drug, Caius would not have. And
Gotcha.
that sort of understanding as the last dregs of this drug leave your system, that understanding also leaves you.
Gotcha.
Should I have Lumia take this once?
If that's the case, then Caius, like with Caius's whole thing is like natural strength, like solely dependent on what one can do for themselves, and not like. So he probably wouldn't want to go down that route.
Okay, fair enough.
It's like
I will say,
steroids.
this is super meta, but I'll go ahead and say everyone else's characters has some amount of understanding as Caius potentially describes to you guys what occurred in the case that some of you get that in your system. You also all can kind of interpret that ingesting this drug and failing on that saving throw and then managing to endure the drug's effects without ill consequence will allow you to kind of help to potentially open some sort of understanding of the world around you in a similar fashion to Caius, how he almost managed to.
Jinx, you have a pretty beefy charisma saving throw, don't you?
Yeah,
I do. It's
you could
6
probably
plus 6.
it would probably be safer to wait until you're in
Town.
Yeah.
But if you wanted to, this is awful. This is me, the DM, being like, "Hey, everyone watching, do drugs. Go get upgrades.
Just
Go
out in the
upgrade your
forest.
mind."
The first time's free, man.
Oh my god.
No
that's an
downsides.
That is an awful message to send. Jesus.
For legal purposes, that was a joke.
That was a joke. This is a joke. For legal
It can
purposes,
only make your
everything-
character better the first time.
For legal purposes, everything that we are saying here is a joke and is entirely in character.
Oh
Anyways.
my god.
Thank God
But-
for drugs.
But no, like at this point, Caius is like very neutral ground with the whole experience that he's been. He's like, if we want to go and like fight something, he's down. But at the same time, the whole experience with the drugs and everything, he's, if anything, he's kind of upset about the whole thing that this Bohem Groheim has put him through.
Yeah, Bohem's kind of a dickhead, and now that you see that he's trying to sell illicit substances to Serendipitous, which I would say Lumia and Harvey are probably fully aware that, like, how do I put this to where I don't have to make another disclaimer?
Drugs bad, okay?
Drugs
Pretty
bad.
bad.
There is a level of kind of like a black market that can exist in a healthy capacity where it's like you're not doing anything that is so illegal that like you're not doing anything immoral. You're just doing black marketeering that is technically not above board, where it's like your offense for stolen goods or something of that nature, where it's like, yeah, there is a moral problem with stealing, but there's also kind of like there's a market for this type of stuff. But then there's a level that is kind of reached where it's like this is causing a noticeable problem, and one of those things is the drug market, where there is an amount of sort of like medicinal herbs and Medicaid that can be provided to people who might otherwise not have the means to do so in sort of like poorer environments. But these are hard drugs. This is not medicine. So whatever Groheim would be doing, he'd be promoting to potentially impoverished folk, and it's not great.
You're trying to tell me there's some sort of difference between weed and heroin?
Yeah, a little bit.
Huh.
Small,
Well,
minor.
yeah, no, if that is the case, then I feel like we need to go take care of this guy now.
But he doesn't have his drugs.
Well, no, of course not, but we know about it and we know where he is. So
He ain't going nowhere.
Though the last, so I will say, the last time you were in town, Bohem was not at his store.
So we don't know where he is.
You're not entirely certain. He could be in town.
All right, we talked to Pimple.
Yeah.
So if that's the case, I feel like Lumia has a better idea of like how to move forward with this one then, because I would like to know what she would like to do.
Well, we are close to the other quest, and we are not sure of his whereabouts. It would be an awful waste of time to trek all the way back and find that he's not there and then possibly wait for him. His drugs are here, so I see no reason for him to be fleeing the area. I think we would be safe to possibly proceed on to the next bounty, or if we wanted to attempt, we still haven't. Moggs made a really good point earlier about the fact that perhaps the trolls could actually understand us if we attempted to speak with them. So if anyone felt brave enough, we could actually attempt to speak to them in the encampment to see what their situation is.
Yeah, if you wanted to, you can. If you're willing to take the risk, because of course I know that I keep sort of like hinting at potential combat or even potential conversing or something like that. If you are willing to take the risk of combat, of you might need to flee combat or something, you can go up and try to like greet them and say hello.
Caius is always like, when it comes to like things like that, Caius knows of their strength, but he's not like afraid to approach.
Yeah. Well, and I think everyone else in the group so far today has taken their own calculated risk, and maybe this is mine. I would like to go talk to the trolls.
I think that's more than fair.
I did. I took a hell of a. I mean, I wouldn't so much call it calculator risk, but hey, but go for it.
Hell yeah. Okay. So, Lumia, do you want to head the charge with everyone else, or do you want to go, like, not alone, but go ahead of them and leave them sort of like a little behind, out of eye shot, to where you can sort of like bear the consequences of what's going on?
I will actually leave that up to the group. If they want to come with me and go, that's fine. If they don't, I will be going regardless.
Moggs is staying at Lumia's side.
Caius, Harvey, where are you guys going to stay behind, or are you going to stay with them?
I'll look. I have to like. I would have to go with, just to make sure if things went south,
that you're there to help.
Yeah, exactly.
You are also the most intimidating looking of us, though.
There you go.
That's why I'm hanging back is what I'm doing, but I'm not like going up there to talk with you, but I am like in range.
Yeah, do you want to be within like, so if you're close enough to like run up in a round, so you might miss the first round of combat, but you would still be able to do combat, you will be able to be seen by the trolls.
Yes, okay.
Is
like,
that okay?
Yeah, as long as I'm able to like run up and like be able to get in as quickly as possible.
It would take you a round. You would have to like dash in order to get up there, but then after that round, I would drop you in and like.
That's fair.
You roll initiative and everything.
Then yes, that'll be fine.
Cool. And Harvey, what's your plan?
I would like to go as well, but maybe get to not like directly with the group, but maybe.
Do you want to stealth off to the side?
Yeah, like an Overwatch position.
Cool. Would you like to be hidden? Because you can attempt to stealth.
I would like to be hidden, yes.
Okay. Roll a stealth check for me.
So the three of us are rolling up visibly, and then Caius is holding back.
That is 8.
Harvey's trying not to be visible. 8, okay. So you get into a position that you believe is as secure as you can get it. Maybe it's a little bit up in a tree, maybe you have a branch or something like that, but you have your bow prepared, ready to go. And it's at this point, Lumia and Moggs sort of breach the tree line towards the town. Caius, you're hanging back a bit, but you're close enough to where people can actually, or like the trolls can actually see you. Mm-hmm. And I'm gonna go ahead and like put your guys' minis on the board. This is more for narrative purposes. If combat were to start, we might adjust things.
We're here. Oh god, I know that's Moggs.
I know. I was like, why are you so small?
I'm just gonna put Moggs and Lumia on the board for now. Caius, you are a little further back, like back this way.
Yeah, that's fine.
And Harvey, I'll say you're like, we're in one of these trees. You're guerrilla warfaring right now. But you approach and you actually see the chieftain who was doing something in this tent over here. Very obviously sees you approach. He looks up from where he was in his tent. It looks like he had something in his hand, maybe was like scribbling something down. He stands up very quickly, grabs his weapon, puts it over his shoulder, and starts speaking to you in a language that you do not understand.
Oh boy. Okay.
He puts out a hand. He has his right hand on his club over his shoulder, and he puts out an open palm hand and just holds it out in front of him. It's a universal sign for stop.
Okay. So what I would like to do outside of saying hello, I think I would actually I think we start with like 10 days rations in our pack. I actually want to take 5 days worth of rations and slowly place them on the ground in front of me and say hello.
You place 5 days worth of rations, which I will say, it's not just like 5, like packets of rations. It is 3 square meals a day. You put 15 packets of rations on the ground in front of you and sort of like set that down gently into the snow pathway, look up and say hello. And you see that the troll like puts down his hand, his palm, and kind of tilts his head and goes, "Are you threats?"
You're very large.
He nods. He just kind of like thinks for a moment, slowly nods, says, "Packets, food."
Yes.
Gesturing to the things that you put on the ground.
Food for you. You can have all of this food.
I'll open one of them to show the insides.
Yeah, there's a bunch of like dried fruits. There's some nuts, some jerky that's in here. It looks like very solid travel rations that you guys have. You guys have got like fully packed up. But you see the troll kind of look down and look up at you and tilt your head, and he just goes, "Why help? Trolls, dangerous. No attack?" He like hoists up his club as if he's basically like, "Do you want to fight?"
I flinch a little and say, no attack. We are friends. Friends help.
He thinks for a moment, nods, and then sort of like, not sheathes, but like wraps the club over the sash that he had on his back, puts both of his hands in front of him, and then gestures to the pot of stew that was being made and says, "Friends share with us share with friends."
Oh!
And he kind of like, he's asking if you want to eat with them. Caius, Caius and Harvey, you both see this. You all 4 of you can hear the troll speak.
Okay. Do I want to walk up just yet?
I think maybe I would say thank you so much. We have more friends. Is it okay if they come too?
He points at Caius and says, "Larger friend." And then he points at Harvey in the tree and goes, "Sneaky friend."
I would like my eyes to be the size of dinner plates.
Yeah, he points at you and goes, "Sneaky friend," and then he does a double take and he's like, "Bird."
Man, I can't believe he figured out both of their names in the first go.
Name? Sneaky. Or Bird. Points at Harvey.
Yeah, sneaky friend and large friend.
You got him right.
He nods. "Good to meet. Sneaky friend, large friend. What names do you have?" Looking at the 2 of you.
My name is Lumia.
And points at Moggs and goes, "Small friend."
Hi, I'm Moggs. The wave.
Moggs. Understood.
Moggs.
Okay.
Nod.
Want food?
Yeah, okay.
Sure.
The other trolls have not gotten out of their tents. One of them has like poked their head out and seen you, seems to have gotten a little startled, and scurries back into their tent.
I'll wander
you
over
see-
to the cauldron.
Yeah, here, like it's not on the map, but it's like just in this area over here. You guys can feel free to just like move your models up there. You see that there's one of the other trolls that is currently tending to the cauldron. Kind of like sees you guys approach. Is a little taken aback, but then you see that The chieftain kind of holds up his hand and shakes his head, almost as if signaling to them like it's fine. He turns to the two of you and he goes, as I assume Caius and Harvey enter into this
Yes.
as well. I'll go ahead and put your minis on the map.
Thank you.
We'll have brought the rations with us.
Yeah. You guys bring the rations. But you see that the chieftain holds a hand to his chest and he goes, "My name, Tar.
Tar?
Tar?
Tar.
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 Okay.
T-A-R.
Oh,
Tar.
Tar. Like
Got it.
the black, the sticky, the tar."
Yeah, you look like a tar.
Nice to meet you, Tar.
Points at Moggs. You look like a Moggs.
Thank you.
You look like a large friend. Gestures to Caius as you approach.
My name is Caius. I apologize, but no, my name is not Large Friend. It is Caius.
Large friend Caius.
Yes, that works. That works.
Sneaky friend Bird. Gestures to Harvey as you approach.
Sorry, I'm dealing with dogs. Yes.
They're just like a pack of wolves come out of the fucking woods.
They're
Sorry,
chewing
guys,
his
I'm dealing
legs.
with dogs.
No, she won't get away from like the buttons on my PC case, and it's like freaking me out.
Harvey has been engaging in a full-fledged like Final Fantasy style combat this whole time. And you guys were
I'm
just
fighting
not
my
aware.
own battles over here.
Like,
Yeah.
you hear Harvey in the background.
Yeah,
No,
Harvey's like backstepping, firing arrows at these wolves that are approaching. He's just like, "Sorry guys, I'm fighting dogs right now. Like, come on."
Oh,
If you see me
God.
randomly muting myself, it's because I'm like, get the fuck away from me.
But yeah, you guys approach these trolls. They are very friendly. They seem not like pleased that you're here. They're obviously very worried that there are adventurers that are here. They seem to know something about their own circumstances that they have yet to convey to you. You're not sure if that means they know something about Bohum's stash. You don't know if that means that they're just worried about, trolls are dangerous in general. You have no clue. But they're very friendly, which is, it's not like it's unheard of for trolls to be friendly. But generally speaking, trolls do kind of like use their brute strength for belonging to mercenary companies and raiding parties and stuff. So seeing a full-fledged, like, tiny village of trolls just minding their own business is a welcome sight. You guys approach, you see the cauldron. It is massive. It is a very big cauldron. And you see that there's this big sort of like what is supposed to be a wooden spoon, but is realistically probably just like a twig or a stick or something that they're using to stir the pot. And you see that it is bubbling and boiling. And you see the troll that's manning the cauldron kind of looks up to the chieftain and speaks in a language that you don't understand. The chieftain responds in that language and then turns and says, our friend Cook wants to know if there are any dietary restrictions.
No, I wouldn't say so. Usually eat anything that comes my way.
I do a quick minor retcon.
Yeah, of course.
Detect magic before we came in.
Hell yeah. So the immediate area, it doesn't look like anything here is magical. You like, your eyes linger on the chieftain's club for a little bit because it could be magical, but nah, it's just a club. You know what? I will say the trolls themselves are very, very, very slightly magical. But it's like such a faint amount of magic that it is almost imperceptible. The nature of a troll's regeneration isn't fully magical, but it has some element of like naturalistic divine magic to it. So like if a troll were to become cut and then that cut were to heal, there would be kind of like a blossom of magic from your detect magic where it would like detect regenerative magics there. But it's fully capable of functioning even in like anti-magic fields and stuff. You don't detect any items in the area outside of what's on your person.
Okay, yeah, and I'd have like tried to, as naturally as possible, kind of gotten within range of each of the tents, but not like gone inside of them, just close.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, you can like
So
poke your
nothing
head.
is there, which is fine. But just
No magical items, but there's a ton of supplies.
Okay.
Yeah, and you see they're prepping food. You see that you see Tar kind of looks to you guys and goes like, "Don't have smaller chairs. Sorry. Would like I could get a log."
No. We can stand.
Yeah, don't worry about it. It's fine.
Are you sure?
Quite sure. And then Kai's just takes a seat on the ground again.
He nods. Okay. He plants his sort of like stump in the ground and sits down on it. You see one of the other trolls approaches, and you guys actually see the troll that was hunting returns. They do have a Scavardi that they have managed to slay.
Oh, good job.
They approach, and as they enter in, here I'm gonna go ahead and like. So this is the troll that was approaching from one of the other tents, and then this is the troll that is coming up from hunting. You see that he starts to approach, and he has the Scavardi over his shoulder. He does not have any of the spears remaining. He probably used them all in the attempt at like getting the Scavardi. But you see he approaches, sort of like tosses the Scavardi down in front of the chef or whoever's cooking at this point in time, and then immediately like squints and narrows his eyes at Lumia, Caius, and Moggs. There's like
Mox.
he like looks up to the chieftain. The chieftain says something in a foreign tongue. That troll responds with something in a foreign tongue. The chieftain tilts his head and starts to say something again. They start to have a conversation in a completely different language, basically above you guys, and you have no idea what they're saying. They all start to talk.
We're just
Start
all looking back
sweating
and forth.
bullets.
Oh my god.
And giving Harvey the evilest look that I can manage.
But you see that yeah, sorry, go on.
Insight.
Yeah, if anyone wants to make an
Yeah.
insight check, I will go ahead and say you will need to tell me what it. Oh my god! You'll need to
Don't worry
tell me
about it.
what specifically you are trying to glean, and it cannot be generic, as in like what are they talking about. It has
Can
to be
it be
something
that
more
like the tone, like the general mood of the conversation?
I would say that would give you disadvantage on the insight. You need a specific thing you're trying to gauge from this, where it's like, are they talking about us? Are they talking about the hunt? Like what, if you want to learn about the subject that they're talking about, or if you want to learn about potentially like the emotion that is being developed as the conversation continues on, you can probably do like those are probably as vague as I would go for this, because this is a completely different language.
Okay.
Hmm.
I
So,
definitely want to do a
try
check.
and gauge the general vibe of the conversation is definitely something you can do, but it would probably constitute a disadvantage roll, because you're just kind of like looking around, being like, huh, what's like, no idea. Like, are they raising their voices? Are they getting angry? You could probably do stuff like that.
Okay, then I'm gonna do an insight check to understand if could I ask like if it's a hostile conversation, like you said, like
Hostile,
raising
yeah.
their voice or getting angry?
Absolutely.
Okay, I'm gonna cast guidance on myself. So I'm gonna go ahead. And
You
do that.
go to cast guidance, and you actually watch.
Oh shit!
Didn't kind of flinch.
Ugh! I
It
didn't
looks
even
like-
think about that.
It looks like he was considering like what it is that you were doing, but then he sees no like. What the?
What the?
That was the weirdest.
Hey.
That's before my bonus too, which is an additional +2 for.
23. On a 23, I'm just gonna spill all the beans for you.
Thank you.
They're talking about you. They're just kind of confused. You gauge that the one that came back from the hunt is a true moron and is talking about you guys as though he saw you in a dream. He does not believe he saw you. He is genuine. He's like, Chieftain, I believe I may have had a vision of these three. Not the bird though. I don't know about him. But the other three, I may have had a vision. This may be some sort of prophecy that is coming true.
You never saw Caius.
Exactly. No, because I think that one
They saw
initially saw us
Caius.
when we came down the mountain.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they saw Caius, Lumia, and Moggs come down the mountain.
Oh, yeah, you're right. Okay, sorry.
But the thing is, I don't think Caius would know anything. Like this is just another
Yeah, as
another
far as-
troll
as-
because Caius was tripping the fuck out.
As far as you're concerned, Caius, this is perfectly normal. Like, you have no clue what's going on. But Lumia, you clock. They're talking about you. It's not hostile in any way. It is true. They are starting to view you as some sort of like saviors or messiahs.
Oh.
They're basically like they're the chosen ones who will lift us from our plight.
Okay, I think in that moment, I probably would want to maybe deter from that conversation. Would it be okay for me to interrupt and maybe to the chieftain to ask, like, so, like, what brings you all out here? Why are you camping here?
Yeah, absolutely. You can go ahead and do that. You pose that question to the chieftain. Go ahead and roll a persuasion check to see if you can get him to cough up more info.
Persuasion! Oh, buddy, can I do guidance again? They're going to be terrified.
You can do guidance. I will say that he may ask for an explanation, and it may be another persuasion check.
Well,
but not for this check.
+6
This is a
persuasion.
normal persuasion check with guidance for
All right.
like asking him that question.
See how
If
we
he
roll. Oh, God.
asks you later.
When you said he thought he dreamed us, I thought you meant that,
It's-
like, when he was waking up and groggy, he had caught a glimpse of us.
So-
He thinks that there was like seeing you in the first place.
In the
He
first
wasn't
place.
sure if that's
Got it.
yeah.
Okay.
So it's 19 plus 6, that's a 25.
20
Jesus.
fucking 5.
Look at the charisma character go.
It was close.
Yeah, so you ask him, like, what are you guys doing here? And he sort of, like, he sits down on the stump that he put down on the ground, and he kind of, like, leans forwards, elbows on his knees, hands together, and kind of, like, bows his head a little bit, and he goes, we were exiled from our home in Karanak, and part of our exile was that we were going to be put here as a prison for us. A very large prison, but a prison nevertheless. They transported us here by boat and set us here with enough supplies to last us about a month. And we have been here for almost that long. You actually do gauge from what you've seen of the food supplies, it's maybe half a week's worth of food. The rations you've supplied to them are rations designed for normal humanoid creatures, so you've maybe given them one more day.
I suddenly don't want to eat any of the food that they offer us. Like, so
I'm
You-
already
you
halfway
gauge-
through a bowl.
Yeah, you gauge that all 4 of you eating would be a roundabout equivalent to like half of a troll. So like you could and not leave a huge dent in their food stores. It would probably make up the food that you're giving them, basically.
I still, I think I refuse
You'll
the
still
food,
refuse? Cool.
and I think I'd like to ask, do you feel comfortable sharing why you were exiled?
He sort of like looks up to the other trolls, says something in his foreign tongue. You see the cook nod, you see the hunter nod, you see the craftsman nod, and then you see that he looks back down at you and he goes, the society we lived in Feowin was very, how do I put this? They valued physical strength over strength of a craft or strength of the mind. And us trolls were deemed defective in our tribe. Because he gestures to the craftsman, you see they are the scrawniest of the bunch. They're the person who's making spears, and he sort of goes, they have for the longest time wanted to be a sculptor and have not had the means to do so. Gestures to the cook and goes, they are not satisfied with simply getting by with stews and stuff of that nature and wish to be a proper cook. And they gesture to the hunter and they go, this is my son, and well, if I'm honest with you, I think he's just a little dumb.
The
But
moment
that's okay.
the moment that they said Fairwind, Caius is like alert.
Yeah, Caius, make a history check. Make it like a history or nature check, your choice.
I'll do nature.
Like, Dad?
Oh my god. It's a 14.
14. Cool. You don't. Oh my god. You know these trolls. You don't know them personally, but you know these trolls. They're from your tribe.
Yeah.
They're not. They're not. So like your tribe is large. You were part of a larger tribe. You were part of a tribe that is actually marked on a map. It's one of these deals where it's like you are one of the like 2 locations in the entirety of Feywind that are actually known. You had like a grand tree that was in that location that is kind of like your designation of like this is home. And there were several, like if I'm being completely frank with you, several 100,000 people that live there. It is a massive place. It is like a tribe in the loosest of senses. But you know, there are offshoots of these places. It's not like you all lived in one specific location. It's like effectively the way that it works is like you have what are small pockets of towns or villages or these districts that are in, you know, the surrounding area, and it spans over hundreds of miles. It's like the equivalent of a city's population over a countryside is what it is.
Gotcha. See, and like the moment they started like describing like the traditions and stuff from like why they were exiled, it kind of clicked. I was like, I feel like that's when I kind of dialed in on like they're from the same place as me, from the same tribe and everything.
Yeah, for sure.
So at that point, I kind of stand up and chime up to them, and I'm like, I expressed to them that we are definitely from the same tribe. And this is where it kind of gets kind of dicey because he sees the position they're in and thinks about his dad.
Yeah.
So now it's kind of like he's used to the traditions, he knows of it, but seeing them like this is kind of like slowly getting to a point where he's realizing that this probably isn't a good way to go about things.
Yeah.
So he's kind of sympathizing with them.
Yeah, for sure. There's a pang of, I wouldn't say guilt, but there's a pang of understanding that you have in this moment where you realize, because of the like tradition. Oh my god, why is that stopping? Because of the traditions of your tribe, there is a very real possibility that this could have been your dad instead.
Exactly, and that's what he's seeing.
Yeah, there's like a pang of like, not, I wouldn't say guilt, but like an understanding of the situation that could evolve into a sad feeling over time. I feel like Caius has enough prescience to kind of like push that down for now if he so chooses. But later on, it could bubble up into a very real sort of emotion.
Yeah, of course. Like at the moment, he's still very like, not so much, I wouldn't say stoic, but you can tell that it's not like getting to him as bad as it might be later on.
Sure. We'll go ahead and say that like you express that to these trolls. You see that the troll chieftain is nodding to you. He might have to ask you to like repeat 1 or 2 things that you say, because he understands common falteringly. He speaks it very well, but he understands it sort of like rudimentarily, where sometimes when he speaks, he says the wrong word that he didn't mean to say. Like, shit, that's not what I meant. But you express that to him, and he sort of nods and he says, "Good tribe, strong tribe, ferocious warriors. You, ferocious warrior as well."
I would think I would like to think I am.
He sort of like stands up for a moment and he crosses his arms and he goes, "Ferocious warrior exiled here or traveled here?"
I chose to travel to these lands.
Nods and smiles.
They're actually in search to further my strength.
He considers you for a moment and sort of like gestures to you, and he goes, "Remember this. I will. We talk after."
Oh, and he like Kai just gives a simple nod and understanding.
But then he turns back to Lumia, and kind of holds his hands out, and he goes, "As one can see, we are not powerful warriors. I traveled with these three willingly and am the only one here able to fight. I defend them so that they can live. But food is hard. Your rations, very helpful." He sees that you haven't taken any food, and he kind of tilts his head, and he goes, "We share with friends."
Oh, I appreciate it, but I am actually not hungry. I'm so full. And
Make a deception check. If you choose to guidance here, he will absolutely ask about it.
is him asking about it a bad thing? Like,
so like not necessarily, but you also do understand that like he doesn't know what you're doing. So like it would be a persuasion check to assuage him that you're not, I don't know, poisoning the food or casting like a dominate person or something. Like he doesn't know what you're doing, so he's just assuming like, oh my god, fire is about to rain from the sky.
okay, maybe we won't do it. I'm tempted to chance it with a +6 on persuasion checks, but
+6 is pretty good. So what's your bonus to deception?
none bonus.
Charisma. I thought you used charisma.
Oh my god, wait. That's true.
Yeah, instead of asking what your bonus to charisma, what your bonus to deception is, let me go ahead and ask, what is your bonus to charisma?
6.
That's charisma saving throws. The actual stat itself.
I guess it's +4 without my +2 proficiency bonus.
Cool. So the actual statistic itself is +4. You don't have proficiency in deception, do you?
No.
So that would be a flat +4 to this roll.
Okay. All right.
To convince him that you are so full, you've already eaten.
Still a liar.
No, it's for the good.
Oh my god.
Please.
Oh, 11.
11.
Hold on, let me see what his passive insight is.
There's no way.
Okay. So you see that he kind of like sees you sort of pat your stomach and you go, "Oh no, thank you, I'm so full." And he kind of nods and he goes, "Okay."
How is the stew, by the way?
It's really salty. They have a lot of like dried meats that they've just gotten from your rations that they dump in there. They shouldn't have, but they did. It looks like they're going to prepare to save some of the scavardi, try and dry it out, use it for jerky in the future. They maybe toss in like a couple of the more gamey parts so that way they can like really, like boiling meat tends to soften it pretty easily. So they're putting a couple things in there to sort of like, this is the gunk that we're not going to eat, otherwise let's do it. When you took your first bowl before that happened, it was great. Now that you've taken your second bowl, there's a bunch of scum on the top. It's not great.
I think I'm only on one bowl.
Yeah, you've got one bowl. And like I'll say everyone managed to get a bowl before that happened, but you see they're trying to like conserve, like they're trying to conserve all their resources. They kind of have to do this in order to get the best bang out of their buck.
See, the thing is, like,
smiles. You say that, and you see that he looks up to the chef. The Tar looks up to the chef, says something, and the chef smiles so like ear to ear wide and looks down at you, Moggs, with like a truly grateful expression on their face.
So I don't think, like, after hearing that they are from like the same tribe as Kai's and what they're going through, Kai's cannot in good faith take a bowl either.
Okay, cool. Harvey, do you take a bowl?
I will take a bowl, but I also would like to give them 3 days of my rations.
Hell yeah. Okay. So a collective, like, 8 days worth of rations that you provide, and you see that the troll chieftain kind of holds out his hands and he goes, friends provide for other friends, but too much you don't need. We can survive. We'll struggle, but can. Are you sure? Looks to you, Harvey.
Struggle less.
Struggle less indeed. He nods. They accept the rations.
Ice is gonna look up at the chieftain and ask, is it just, he wants to know, is it just the four of you? Like, is there anyone else here besides just the four of you?
It's at this point that he has a very somber expression, and you do not need him to say anything to know that there used to be more.
Ooh.
But then he looks up and he simply nods. He says, there were more.
Caius is gonna turn to the guy, like the group, and says, I don't think I can leave them out here.
We worry not accepted in town. Trolls dangerous. Haven't tried.
I
Staying
agree with
here
Caius.
safe.
Can I pose a question to the DM?
You absolutely may.
Is it feasible for me to send a recommendation letter
To
back
your
to headquarters?
organization?
Yeah.
It's absolutely feasible for you to do something like that, yeah. I am also going to say Harvey is aware of this. So, like, of all the characters here who would be aware of information that would be pertinent here, it would be you, because you've lived here for your whole life, and you haven't lived in a dungeon your whole life. Sorry, but that's just
Right.
that's kind of how it is for Moggs. But, like, you've lived in this sort of, like, locale. You know what goes on in Serendipitous. Trolls are not shunned here. These trolls are from a nation that shuns trolls, and trolls are not shunned in Serendipitous. They just don't know that. They haven't tried to go to the town because they're worried that they're going to be shunned from that town and sort of thrown out like they are in towns in Karanak, but they're not going to be here. If you take them to Hence, they will be welcomed. Like, straight up, if you take these trolls to Hence, they will actually be welcomed.
Okay.
That's what we should do.
I totally agree with you.
It wouldn't like fit in the Hence buildings, though, would they?
Absolutely not.
They could still set up possibly an encampment around the borders.
Yeah, I mean, you guys see they've got like a wagon that they could put all their stuff in. If you told them, like, hey, let's move, like, one, that would be a huge leap of faith for them. But two, you could probably like take Tar back or something, or take like one of them back. Because Tar is like the only person here capable of defending them, which incidentally, he's also the only person here able to communicate with you guys. So he would have to stay back in order to defend the rest of them. But you could take one of the other 3 trolls to kind of like scout it out and verify, and then return to the rest of the crew and let them know, like, yeah, it's fine.
I mean, I'd rather take Tar and have him meet with the chief.
Tar
Yeah, but-
will not willingly leave the rest of them alone.
No.
Yeah, because they'd be
Then-
defenseless.
Yeah,
Then
if it like straight up, if a pack of Scavardi were to come through here, all of them would die.
Then how about we see about having them all travel with us?
Yeah.
That would
Get
be
I
a
don't know that
close.
they'd
big,
take
that'd
that
be
risk.
a big leap of faith for them to leave all their stuff here.
Could we get
Well-
at it with a nice charisma roll? Can we
Yeah.
persuade them?
And I would like to give help with that as well, seeing as I'm from the same tribe as them.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'll go ahead and say, Lumia, if you want to try to convince them, like, so you guys concoct this plan, you kind of talk amongst yourselves. Tar is within earshot, so he does hear some of the, like, looser details of the plan. And he's kind of nodding as he's hearing this, where he doesn't seem fully on board, but he seems like he's understanding what you're talking about. He looks to you, and I'm not going to ask for the persuasion check yet. He's going to ask you something, and what you say here is going to determine the DC.
Moggs also has something.
Yeah, hit me with it.
So just kind of while this is all going on, just nonchalantly while munching on food, Moggs will be like, "Trolls are strong, right?"
You see that the chief nods, looks up to the rest, says something in their tongue. You see all the trolls kind of like nod. One of them, the hunter, the son, he like flexes his muscles. He's not incredibly powerful, but like the equivalent of a civilian for a troll is like a god for a normal human.
If you guys could clear out my old cave, you could have it.
You see that they kind of like The chieftain tilts his head and goes, "Old cave?
Yeah, it used to be a base.
We'll have to mark on map. Is okay?"
I'm not using it.
He takes out his map. They do have a map of the local area. He puts it down on the ground, and he kind of goes, "Where cave?"
Hey, boss.
Yeah.
Looks to Olivia.
Where did I come from?
Oh my god.
You remember the estimated area around where they were. If you want to circle it on their map, you can.
And that was like while you guys were having your conversation, so you can continue and then do your case and stuff like that. But it was just something that Moggs threw out haphazardly because she doesn't care.
Cool. Yeah, you see that they like take the map. They look at the circle on the map. They kind of nod and close the map and say, "Thank you, small friend
Moggs.
I appreciate you."
So that could be part of your plan, or you can ignore it whichever way.
Yeah, so you know he has that. Do you want to incorporate that in the plan? Do you want to, like, instead of taking him directly to Henst, like, suggest that they go to the cave first, and then you take one of them to Henst?
I would.
Well, to be actually, you know what? To be fair, the cave is like 3 or 4 days away from Henst.
See, I would say that would be a good backup plan.
A good backup plan in the case that Henst repels them or something.
Correct.
Yeah.
Cool.
Because not only would they just be on their own out there, but at Hens they would actually, we would know that they would be accepting of them and probably even help them, especially if, I feel like the safety of Hens would go up if there's trolls defending.
Absolutely. Like Caius is fully aware, trolls pack a punch. Even like they said that they were like defective trolls. That's not how trolls work. They're absolutely not defective. They just have different passions. They're still as strong as normal trolls. They look a little weak. They look a little like scrawny by comparison. But I'm going to tell you right now, their strength scores are 18. Their constitution scores are 20.
Ooh.
You size them up. They've got 63 hit points, 15 armor, and they regenerate 10 hit points every turn. Yes, that is. By the way, that last part is absolutely fucking insane.
That's every turn.
Every turn, unless they take fire damage or I believe acid damage. Those are the only two things that could potentially negate a troll's regeneration. If they don't take either of those two damages, they start their turn and heal 10 health and then take their turn.
Gotcha. Well,
you know, remember, Jinxie, when you had to cast a spell, use a spell slot and a bonus action to heal less than that amount?
Yeah.
That's how crazy that is.
It's wild. It'd be a great addition to the town.
Exactly.
Yeah, for sure. And you see that he sort of like leans forward and he says, one question about town. How many people?
I don't know that I know that or remember that.
I think you
make like a history check if you wanted to know a specific number, but you know like the roundabout vague number. Let me pull it up here. There's around about 300 to 400 people in Henst.
Oh, okay.
my number was way off.
I know. So I guess I would say, 300 or 400 people.
Kind of nods. And he starts speaking with the rest of them. They don't go on for a long time, but they do have like a conversation. You see he looks down and says, we would be okay with that many people. Too many people makes them scared. You see he gestures to the other three. And he goes, part of why exile, part of why defective. But 300 to 400. He starts to count on his fingers.
Yeah, 300 to 400.
He is counting one at a time up to
Oh.
300. If you don't stop,
So,
he will be here for a while.
Caius is gonna like chime in and say, "You don't have to worry because we know we're really like I guess we know the protectors are the guards of the area,
Yeah.
and I can assure you that those are the people that protect the town. They're going to be more than welcoming for you.
He sort of nods and he says, okay. Would 2 different ways. You can take Sun to town so he can come back to tell us to go. Or you can take all of us in small caravan to town. Don't have to do now. Still have about 5 days of food. Now, he gestures to the rations you've given them. He goes, about 7 days of food, actually. Can stay here for a while. We'll be safe. If you want to go do other stuff.
I'm worried there'll still be a target if we split.
Exactly.
Yeah, the bounty's still out there.
There's no telling about who all got picked up that bounty.
Yeah, there were more tags for that bounty. So there are people. There are actually, so like the way the bounty works is basically a little tiny, smaller version of the bounty on these like little paper tearaway flyers at the bottom. A couple of them had already been taken, so you presume you may be the first to get here, but you're probably not the only ones on this quest.
Yeah, I think we need to go now.
Yeah.
I agree.
You see that Tar kind of stands up and goes, "Okay, I will start to pack things. Enjoy meal, rest. Don't grow too tired. I will get the wagon ready." You see he kind of slaps his son on the shoulder, says a thing or two to him. The son kind of sits down on the sort of mallet that Tar put in the ground, and Tar starts to get some of the more like important stuff of their supplies. What he cannot load into their wagon, he buries underneath the snow and in like secret locations in case they need to return here, or if they want to make a return journey, they can. But otherwise, you see he packs up. Looks like all of the tents. He packs up a good chunk of the food, and maybe a couple of other supplies where it's like artisanal tools, the cauldron, stuff like that. Things that they will use if they want to continue their like artisanal crafts. He packs that kind of stuff up. It looks like Tar really cares about these 3, and he manages to pull everything together. It takes him maybe like an hour to do this. He gets some help from, if any one of you guys want to help, you can, but it's like you're dealing with things that are these things are designed for people and then have been retrofitted to work for trolls. So it's kind of hard to help because it's like, oh yeah, can you hold this post? This post weighs 200 pounds. No, you can't hold this post.
I can hold it.
I can hold it. Well, you could for a little bit. You could. So like Caius can help.
I don't have even a chance of making a difference.
I'll say with your what was the insane roll that you did, like 25 or something like that on your persuasion, Lumia?
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say with that 25, he also asks you about what spell you've been casting. You tell him that it's guidance and that it helps people do things, and then he asks for you to cast it on him while he's packing stuff up. And he's like, "This really good. How do you do this?"
Oh. A little thing I like to call magic.
He seems like astonished, as though he's never heard the word before in his life.
I look up at him and I kind of shrug as well.
It's power from my friends on another plane. Friends help friends.
I'm gonna like roll a check to see if he knows what a plane of existence is.
Oh no.
Nope. He looks at you and goes, "A plate?"
How to say? I have a friend. She is my sky mommy, and she.
Kai's is gonna put a hand on Lumia's shoulder. Just don't try.
He looks up to the sky and goes, "Sky Mother? Where is this Sky Mother? Can I speak to Sky Mother?"
Oh.
I'm gonna. This is me, the DM, telling you. This is me, the DM, telling you right now. If you want to, like,
This is.
I'm
if you want-
proselytizing for morning.
Yeah, if you want
It sounds like it.
If you want to make Tara a worshiper of morning right now, there's no check needed. You just say yes or no.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh my
You over while he's like packing stuff up, you're casting guidance on him every once in a while. You just explain what the teachings are. You explain what's going on. You explain like there's scripture that you'd have to read. Most of it's written in common. There's a couple. There's probably some copies of scripture written in giant. I could like you even offer like I'll get a piece of the scripture to you written in giant to where it'd be easier for you to read. And he's like, that's very thoughtful of you. And like you just you got a vibe with this guy. He's a cool guy. And like. It's not to say the rest of you aren't doing anything, but there's probably a couple moments of awkward sort of like you're sitting with 3 trolls eating stew. None of them speak common, so they're kind of just staring at you, and sometimes they like turn to each other and say something in giant, and then turn back to you guys and kind of like point and go and say something in giant again. Maybe one of them chuckles or something like that, and then they continue.
Whenever they do that, I laugh.
I do want to say that, like, from time to time, as Kais is hearing Lumia explain, like, how her magic works and everything, he's honing in and out of it.
Yeah.
Because he himself doesn't quite understand it.
Cool. Yeah. There's maybe like bits and pieces that you pick up.
Mm-hmm.
I would say this is also true for anyone in the party who cares. The goddess Morning is the goddess of purposeful ignorance. She is basically the goddess that wards off digging. This is going to sound strange. Do you guys know in Lord of the Rings the fucking like the mines of Moria where they dug too deep and they found the Balrog? Do you know that like scene and that whole deal? She is if Morning existed for the dwarves in the mines of Moria, she would have been like, don't fucking dig too deep. Don't do it. There are things that can harm you in places that you don't know about. Unless you know about it, don't fuck with it. She basically is like, she's called the goddess of purposeful ignorance because that's just kind of like the ideation that is attached to her, but she's realistically much more like mild than that terminology suggests. She's the goddess of like, don't try to find out stuff you don't really want to know. Like, their information can be harmful to people, and he suggests to you that sometimes it's better not to know something that could hurt you.
Cool.
So
Okay.
that is the goddess. She is a protective deity. She's generally neutral to good leaning. She has never been sort of identified as a evil character. She also doesn't lean towards lawful or chaotic either. So she's much more just like neutral good or true neutral. And she kind of has this suggestion to people where it's like, hey, maybe don't go trying to find out more information about this thing you're curious about, because don't Google 2 girls 1 cup, okay? Don't do that.
Oh my god.
That's not a good idea.
Oh.
That is what Morning would say. Morning would be like, hey, maybe nah, like, let's not.
Gotcha. Okay.
That's the goddess's teachings. It checks out. It's like honestly not a bad, like, there's a lot of zealot sort of leaning stuff in other religions, but Morning is a lot more of one of those sort of pervasive religions that kind of just like is out there in places. You'll find like a small sect of followers here and there. It's nothing super grand. It's not like let's proselytize to every person we can. It's much more of just like, yeah, if you wanna, go ahead. And that's kind of the sort of deal here where Tara's like, I like this. In dangerous thinking, no, dangerous learning, bad, but not all learning bad, right? Looks to you, Lumia, for kind of confirmation, where it's like he just what the fuck did he just say? Dangerous learning bad, but not all learning bad.
Exactly. I nod at him in confirmation.
He smiles and he's like, I get it.
So Moggs, after finishing up their bowl of stew, having overheard that the trolls didn't really know magic or know of magic,
Yeah.
is going to start working with the cook, and is going to get them to kind of monkey see, monkey do of throwing a snowball as straight up in the air as hard as possible to try to get them to be able to do it as well.
Okay. You see that now that the cook has finished cooking and is eating, and they like finish their first bowl, they go for a second one. You start to like, you grab a snowball, you point at the snowball, you point at them, and then you throw it up in the air. You see they just kind of look at you. They're like, "Ugh."
They do it a couple more times until
they nod. They look to one of the others with a confused. They don't even say anything. They just look at each other and they're like shrug, and then he starts to like pack up a snowball. He like holds it in front of him, and then he points up.
I nod and point up as well.
He chucks it into the sky. It goes like 100 feet up.
I climb into his hand and then I point up.
What the hell is happening?
He starts to say something to you, directly to you, and it's very obvious that his friends respond to him. He's speaking to you, but his friends respond in such a way where he's like, she can't understand you. And then he kind of like holds up a hand. He speaks to you again, and I need you, Fen, to roll for me a flat intelligence check to figure out what he is trying to tell you.
Intelligence check. I don't have disadvantage on, right?
Yeah, we'll say no. We'll say this is just a flat check for. If you did, you now have advantage. So it's.
All right.
Pretty good.
And so that'd be a 13.
13. You pick up from the conversations you've been listening to in the area. You're surrounded by 4 trolls actively speaking giant. You pick up a couple of words spoken in their native tongue. You pick up a couple of words spoken in the giant language. He is asking you if you want him to throw you directly up into the sky, and then posits concern for your well-being.
Oh my god.
I nod excitedly and point up again.
He shrugs and chucks you 100 feet in the air.
Oh my god!
I want to share a look with Caius.
They throw you like a javelin. Actually, you know what? Here's what we'll do. I'm gonna roll a 2d20 to determine how far they throw you in increments of 5 feet.
Oh,
So
no.
every number on these 2d20, add it together and multiply it by 5.
Oh, sweet.
So 105 feet.
Straight into the air?
Straight like a javelin.
Anyone who wasn't directly paying attention just hears Mogs go.
I'm fucking R2D2
Like,
going by.
And then
I look at Harvey and I look into the air. I'm like,
You guys see for a moment, there's a brief, beautiful moment. The sun peers through the clouds, rays of golden light shine down on a blue kobold that is rocketing through the air as they hover at the apex of their leap. It looks like they're flying, but they're totally not.
and then I
So-
cast Featherfall.
Hell yeah.
oh,
You guys watch
no idea
as
you had Featherfall.
this marks the second time in my tenure as a dungeon master where someone has done something involving elevation intentionally to cast Featherfall. The other time someone jumped off of an airship intentionally. But yeah, you gently float to the ground and you watch the troll, the cook that threw you, looks up, has this wide-eyed expression, and then the sun is looking up at you and starts to clap, and then the other 2 trolls start to join in and clap. You have like a small round of applause as you come down to the ground.
I'm just like vibrating.
Lumio.
I've nearly passed out because I had no idea. I was rampantly going through my spell book to see if I had anything to mitigate her becoming a pancake. I was looking at Spare the Dying.
I'm also going to go ahead and say this for the record, and I suggest you write this down somewhere, Fen, but I would like you to mark down in some capacity that you effectively have learned 1/5 of the giant language.
Okay.
If you spend a significant amount of downtime trying to learn more, you will up that to 2/5, and then 3/5 and 4/5. any amount below full understanding means you do not know the language, but the moment you hit 5 out of 5, you know the full language. So you can understand like bits and pieces, but it will not be enough to communicate with somebody up until you have the full 5.
Oh.
But it's basically just like to mark that you are learning the language.
All right.
Pretty cool.
Hell yeah. So you guys, they pack up all their stuff. They have it all in a wagon. You see that the chieftain kind of like gestures to his son to the wagon, says something to him, and then goes, "My son will pull the wagon. Where do you want me in the marching order?"
Oh.
We are a caravan now, and we should be ready for anything. The town, how far from here?
Maybe.
Isn't it? I was about to say, isn't it about a day's journey?
If you left now, you would make it by nightfall.
Maybe we should have him in the back, and maybe like you in the front, Caius, and then me and Harvey and Moggs flanking on the sides of them, so that those that can't fight are basically insulated entirely by people that can.
That sounds good to me.
Cool.
So,
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you guys have anything you want to do before you set out?
at some point, I think you said Tar wanted to speak with me.
Oh yeah, that's you know what? We'll do it on the road.
Fair enough.
We'll say that you guys start to go on your merry way as this small little character. You've done phenomenally well with a group that you were like, truthfully, with all the information that you had, there's no way that you could have known what was going on with these trolls. But now you have the context. Bohem Groheim wants to get these trolls out of here so that he can get to his drugs, so that he can get his illicit drug enterprise going. That's what he wants.
Do we want the drugs in the caravan?
Yeah, you've got a wagon. You could probably load in. I would say with the amount of stuff that is in the wagon, you could not load in all of it. You could maybe load in one crate.
I'm just a little concerned, and maybe we can talk through it, but I feel like if we're coming into town with a boatload of trolls and drugs, that maybe that doesn't provide the best optics. That could just be me, though.
We could definitely like stop just before we get into town, and then kind of walk, like have one of us go and kind of warn the guards.
Yeah.
I mean, it would also just be a crate out of their belongings, like unless they're going to
Unless
get
they crack it open.
fully searched.
Well,
Yeah.
and I want to be strategic here, okay?
Yeah.
Because the original bounty was to clear this area, which we have done. And if old boy is back in Hinst and we collect our bounty, we should at least get our money first before we turn him in.
You can collect. Also, I will say, as like hysterical as this is, there is now, because of your actions, another avenue that is opened up. You can save these trolls and get the money from Groheim without turning him in, which was originally not a plan. I did not have that written down. It was either you were going to evict the trolls so Groheim could come over here, or you were going to side with the trolls to go and like deal with Groheim. But in this case, you could technically do both.
We technically have actually done the quest.
You have done the quest in what I would say is the fullest possible capacity.
It's true.
Which I didn't even have planned.
That is amazing.
I love
100%
that
speedrun.
shit so fucking much. You guys are great. I love it so much. You guys managed to do this whole thing, and then you're like, what if we just like took you guys back to town? And I'm like, oh fuck, I didn't think of that.
Let's go.
Cool. Yeah. So I will say there is maybe a point during your caravan travel where Tar kind of like pulls Caius aside.
Yeah.
And Tar kind of like looks to you and goes, You remind me of someone from the tribe. I'm not going to say it because I don't know it. He says your father's name.
Gotcha.
And asks, are you related to him?
Caius would nod and be like, yes, that would be my father. Man.
He pauses for a moment and he goes, did you know your mother is here?
Caius freezes. And like, just like his eyes go wide, and he's staring at him. So no, what? He's just kind of dumbfounded. All he says is what?
And he continues, and he goes, like us, he was exiled to here. It was a hope that we might find her when we were exiled, but we don't know where she is. She has your brother too. And that is where we're going to end the session.
You monster.
Oh my god, what the fuck?
Hey, let me just like throw 2 bombs at Bear before I instantly end the session.
Motherfucker.
Dude, what? I didn't know we both had daddy issues and mama trauma.
Oh my god.